Hello and welcome, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time it is for you. Where you are, happy Friday. Welcome to the beginning of a weekend, if your weekend begins with a Friday. Octopixie with a 30-month resub. Thank you very much. Happy Friday, Hazel, Miss Kira, and squad. Hope you have a great day. Feels amazing, man. Good morning. First time I've seen your short hair. I don't know why I always do that. Probably because I can't. Hi, Hazel and chat. Meowdy. Only have 5 of these ore sample stone things, then done with researchers under fire. Never touching this thing again. You're so close to freedom. Kitty, would you like to come say hello? Are you finished with your ice cube? Yeah. Hi. Well, there you go. Hi. How you doing? How are things? You had an exciting morning. You had an ice cube? You got to lick the watering can? My cat likes drinking water, and she's a great pioneer in the frontier of new and interesting ways to find and drink water. So her current favorites are licking ice cubes and licking the watering can after I'm finished watering plants with it, which is why we don't fertilize, huh? It's just water. Miss Kira. Katie, thank you very much for the 30-month resub. Good morning from the rainy, cold summer of Alaska. Good morning. Also, Alcrava with a 6-month resub. Happy half a year, half a dozen. Hi, guys. How you doing? I was just looking at my rogue because this is the character I'm leveling. She's level 69 and a half with a bit of rested. So this really shouldn't be hard, which means it's going to take me all day. What I'm thinking, and it's a bad idea, is what if I just stopped by the... Why W no make me go forward? There we go. If we just stop by the Artisans Consortium lady first, or person, I think. Might be the vendor. Yeah, Rabul. We'll go stop by Rabul. Look into maybe some mining knowledge, because if I can get like 35 or something points in mining, then I could perhaps... No, those are blacksmiths. We want miners' notes. If I could get enough... Oh no, we're out of metal. We don't have enough. We could do the blacksmiths one. If I get enough mining points, then I can mine while mounted. And doesn't that sound like a great way to get a half a level? Unfortunately, we are in fact 8 points short. Oh wait, hang on, am I? No, I'm 1 point short. All right, well, we might be able to make that happen. I think I still have I could get a treatise actually. Why don't we do that? And then there's also Profession Master I can visit, as well as an instructor quest. So sure, yeah. Treatise on mining. We can track that one. We can also make it a favorite. I don't think I'm going to bother getting a blacksmithing treatise in this character. I'm really not convinced that I'm going to do any meaningful amount of blacksmithing, but I may as well. Here, let's search for these things and get myself at least one for now. Probably won't do this every week. The glittering parchment, I'm sure it can be bought from a vendor or something, but whatever, that's fine. 5 of those. This is a fun feature in Auctionator where you can just search a recipe that you're tracking and it will pull up the specific things that you need, so you don't have to, like type or anything. Imagine turning on your computer and having to type something out. The horror. Okay. All that. Acer, thank you very much for the 44-month resub, beginning my 3-day birthday weekend with coffee, morning wow, and Hazel stream. Happy birthday! Or birthday weekend. Half a level, shortest stream ever. I think I'm gonna play my, I've got one more DPS between 60 and 70, which is a hunter to do after this. Draconic Treatise of Mining. I'm gonna put up 100 gold. I'm gonna just public work order it. And if anyone makes treatises on Lightbringer and wants to do me a solid, I did put up all the mats for it. It's just hanging out there. I'm too shy to talk in trade chat. Because I made all of my blacksmithing first crafts that were available. I do have like a million quests that I could potentially do. Oh, there's another one. That's gonna be some kind of a blacksmithing weekly. Call of the Forge. Oh no, you're just gonna give me. Oh, it's a mining quest. Oh, I don't even need the... I mean, I'll still take the treatise, but there we go. That's what I needed. I just wanted to be able to mine while mounted so that if I want to just go, flap around and get ore for experience. Should I do... I want the deafness right now, to be honest with you. I just want the cast time. Deafness isn't exactly the most money making, but we're not really here to make money. We're here to mine nodes and do it fast. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna hit it. I feel like the Onaran Plains may not have the most ore, but it won't be as annoyingly vertical as the Waking Shores will be. So we're gonna start over there. Raining here, absolutely living for it. Gonna be a cozy afternoon today. Gonna thunderstorm. You guys getting all the summer storms? Wasted so many knowledge points early Dragonflight. They were wasted, because you can always get more. It's not like you're working with a finite amount of them, and you know, they're good for something. I was very worried that I had wasted all my alchemy points early Dragonflight, because for the first, like, month or so, I wasn't getting anywhere with it. But then it turned out they came in handy later, so it's all for something. I guess there are a couple of nodes that you can spend points on that are really, like in alchemy, I'm pretty convinced that the researching nodes in alchemy are next to useless. There's like, because you can research this stuff without them. And the mats that you're using to research aren't really that precious. And with enough time, you can kind of just catch up anyway. So, you know, there's a couple. I want that Cerebite deposit. Rain here too in New York. Which add-on is that? Auctionator is the one that was making the shopping list for me. That's probably what we're talking about. Cat has stolen bacon 2 days in a row now. Glad to share. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad he's having a good snack. Fairbanks was getting some thunderstorms last night. Not here in Anchorage. We never get them. It's very rare to get thunder here. Sometimes it's on the forecast, but you almost never hear it. And then when you do hear it, you can't really tell, is that thunder or did like a truck just do something, you know, like hit a speed bump too fast, or maybe it's just a big boat, you know. Sound echoes weirdly through the city because it'll come in from the harbor and then it'll kind of bounce off the different hills and it'll sound like it's coming from the direction that it is not. Okay, so here's one. If I was going to do math, actually, here, let's do some math. And by math, I just mean calculator math. I have 391. And then there's going to be, and then I currently am sitting on, I'm just going to assume that my rest will last forever because I think it will. I am level 69, so I'm trying to figure out right now. Basically, how many nodes? So I need currently 16686. So including this one, how many nodes do I need to gather? That gave me 3,900. Okay. We're talking 41, 42 nodes. And then that would get me finished with my leveling. Is that what I want to do, or do I want to like mix in a couple of world quests? It might be what I want to do. 42 sounds like a fair few, but it's not really that many. You know, they're everywhere. Don't forget Fire Festival buff. That will work if I'm killing enemies, but if I'm just mining, I don't think it helps. The text on it says experience from monsters. I could do, I could queue up for a hoon, but I feel like I could collect 40 pieces of ore before I get that far. Hello, hello, TGIF, TGIF. It's a nice level. Any racing world quests up? I think I did them all yesterday. I think I even went into the caverns and I did those all yesterday. I have yet to go to the old world and start doing the pet battles. There's always that, but I did do most of the, oh geez, oh man. I did do most of the, where is my Drake break actually? Nope, that's not Drake break, that's the opposite, that's Drake gas. There we go. No, I did do most of the, all right, here, we're gonna actually put Drake break on the bar. Because we look at this, where is it? I don't even remember what it's called. Beyond Infinity? No. It's like a... Oh, it's going to be one of these guys. Basics, Vigor, Liftoff, Thrill, Winds, Whirling Surge, Time Lock. Where is my Drake break? Am I... Aerial Halt, thank you. Oh, it was on Shift F. I'm going to put it on regular F too. Because I just want to like... What? There we go. More or less. Oh, I think I forgot that I could mine these while mounted. That was the whole point of getting all of that crafting knowledge. I think I forgot about that. Look at all these nodes. Oh, you know what I could do? Let's turn on Farm HUD. That'll help. That'll be good for this. I'm pretty sure I still have it installed. I don't think it's fallen victim to the Hazel madly deletes add-ons the second she doesn't need them anymore. Just gets them again later if she needs them. I did the Frank invasion on the rogue. Yeah, we did that yesterday. Waking Shores might have more density, but this is pretty good. And Waking Shores is annoying because it's highly vertical. Get it? Highly. It's so up and down, and it's just kind of hard on the vigor, especially if you have a hard time figuring out, is it all the way on the top of the spire thing? Is it halfway up the spire thing? Is it underneath the spire thing in a little cave, you know? I feel like I have a better chance of, and there's still some of that in here, but I think I have a better chance in this node, in this area. I got a 402 weapon in my 65 DH. Annoying thing about leveling through mining, the nodes you see that look like they're just out, but they're actually in caves. Yeah, it's the worst when they decide to only pop into the when they decide to only pop into their like, you know how they go gray when they're in a cave? Sometimes they will only do that. So when I unlock this, yeah, we're just gonna unlock that one. Although I'm pretty sure I should unlock that one so that I can reduce the cooldown of my overload, but I'm not making gold, I'm just leveling. I mean, I wouldn't say no to some gold. So, yeah, any big caves are probably not worth. Look in your spellbook. For what? A lot easier to fly around than planes. Always had an issue flying around the Azure Span. I seem to always run out of vigor. I reached a point with the Azure Span. Oh, I was going to turn on Farm Hut. That's right. There we go. I reached a point with the Azure Span where I would just flight path my way up. I would flight path my way up. If I was starting at Iskara and I wanted to go basically anywhere else in the zone, I would just flight master myself there because it doesn't look like that big of a hill. But I would always, without fail, manage to run myself out of gas trying to get out of Iskara into anywhere else in the zone. So I would just flight past myself like to the middle of it and then go from there. It's a good chance to stretch your legs, grab a cookie, you know, pet your cat. You refuse to point your dragon straight up. I've tried it a few times. Maybe not on stream. Maybe on stream. I'm not convinced it's that good, and it makes my screen look crazy. I just don't like it. I started a new Warlock today to see how fast leveling is from 11. Been doing the OG Undead zones. Oh, I love those. I love those. I have a little Undead that I'm messing with. Oh no, I've entered the zone I just said I wouldn't do. Do I do it until I hate it, or do I just turn around and leave? Because what else do we have? Theldrazis is... Yeah. I don't even know if there's anything in here. It's just the wall. The wall itself I don't think actually gives me experience. I guess I can just get some stuff that's not experience, though. Oh, for the Drake Break spell. I gotcha. Don't forget the overload. I'm gonna overload when I find a Titan touched one. I think that's what I want to do. Yeah, anything in caves is probably not worth it. This is going faster than I thought, though. Look at all this stuff. There's another one. We've only got, we're 74% of the way. I think we've done about half of it already, and the rested should last. Yeah, the rested will definitely last. So that's nice. I think my hunter, which is next, I'm gonna level her probably in BM. Probably as a Beast Mastery Hunter, even though I've already played one of those. You know, I have the benefit of having a vague idea how it works, so that might actually help me do more damage. And then the other thing would be, I think I'm gonna make her skinning and leatherworking, and I never do that, and it's not gonna be great for experience, but I haven't done it in Dragonflight yet. It sounds kind of fun, and I know that if I save all of the leatherworking for 68 to 70, it should be pretty cheap to buy the mats to do that armor crafting. And that should help me just, you know, that should just be some good, easy experience for the last couple of levels. So, yeah, I technically don't have to do skinning. I could do herbalism and leatherworking just fine. But I just kind of want to see what skinning feels like. I'm sure it's useless, but I don't care. Skinning leatherworking hunters are nostalgic for me, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back in for it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here we go. Hazel, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Maddie. Don't understand why a dragon mounts dismount is going into caves. Dragons love caves. Super easy to level up. Maxed it out at like 61. Skinning is the most boring profession. Fishing is the most boring profession, but also the most, the best one. Add-on for mining. This is Farm HUD. Do I have a command for that? Farm HUD. Yeah, it's great for any kind of gathering. Basically, all it's doing is it is overlaying the contents of my mini-map into this big ring here, and that's why you'll see my mini-map itself is kind of blacked out. It's just kind of moving it to the center of your screen to make it easier for you to navigate without having to dart your eyes constantly. It's you can also use it in combination with like a route add-on to draw lines across it so that you have a path to follow. Do I want to do this? I don't even think I can do the rare. Wow. I was gonna say if I try and do that, I'm probably just gonna end up dead. Do I want to try and do that one, or I'm gonna maybe turn around because that seems like it could be very, very far down. It's not that far down. It's just right down there. Skinny gathering is everywhere. Fishing is making bank. Yeah, fishing's got more to it than skinning. I mean, skinning has knowledge points, presumably. I haven't done it yet, but it presumably has knowledge points. What they could possibly do for it, I don't know. I also don't know how you would get them, but we'll find out. It'll be a magical, fun adventure, or something. Here we go. But yeah, I'm excited about questing on the Hunter, just because Hunter is one thing that I feel like it's a car that I know how to drive. It's damage that I know how to do. Plus, there's no reason why I shouldn't just completely follow my impulses if I see a cute animal and I want to tame it as a pet. I may as well, you know. There's no reason not to. Just get all of them. Just tame anything. Welcome to the dark side. I'm deeply excited about being able to open my own lockboxes. Although I had a funny moment. Oh, those are both in caves. Man. I had a fun moment where I had made these Ceravite skeleton keys for blacksmithing for a first-time craft to get some experience. And I was like trying to sell them in the auction house, and they were selling for like basically vendor price, and I was like, well, that's a waste of time. I may as well use them then. I have a couple lockboxes. Yeah, I'm a rogue, but I'm not a high enough level to lockpick these yet. So I used some keys, I opened the lockboxes, and then I realized I can't actually like open them until level 70. I mean, I could mail them to a level 70, but it was a wonderful exercise in realizing why Ceravite skeleton keys are not worth very much. I do not have Thunder Fury. Heal pet, revive pet, heal yourself. Yeah. Something frenzy stacks. I like BM because I actually kind of came around on the 2 pets thing. For a while, I really thought that I wouldn't. I was very attached to this idea of my hunter having 1 pet, and that pet and her have like a history and a story, and 2 pets just felt too much like being part of a zoo. Is it worth putting myself out? Yeah, sure. But I kind of came around on it, especially if there's like a pet that you really love. I didn't need to get off my mount there. If there's a pet that you really love the cosmetic appearance of, but maybe it's not the right, maybe it's a tenacity pet, you don't really need to have it out, or maybe, you know, it's just not the right specialization for what it is that you want to do. You know, tame one of those, stick it in the first slot of your stable, use Call of the whatever on earth that talent is called, and you get a bada bing bada boom, you got your buddy. I have a butterfly that I have in that slot on Aerith, and it's a cunning pet, and sometimes you want a ferocity pet, and it can be out anyways. It's good. Yeah, this is my Waking Shores experience. Yeah, can't forget Beastleaf. Gathering on a rogue was so amazing on PvP servers back in the day. Sap, blind, steal the note. Is this quest worth doing? Climbing gear? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of having fun picking rocks. Like my turtles and my bears. I like having themes for the hunters. So my Draenei hunter has very pretty pets. They have like colorful wings. I've got the peacock. I've got the butterfly. My next hunter, she's a Darkspear troll. So I feel like right now she's got a hyena. I'm gonna probably look for, I don't know, I think maybe a raptor or a dinosaur or something to have as her second pet. Something kind of themed. And then it would be kind of cool to have, if I was making more hunters just for no reason, because that is, in fact, how I live my life. I would love to have, like, a northern animal kind of thing. Like a bear and, like, maybe a bear and a lynx would be kind of cool. Although the lynx model is really old. You could do a moose probably, or like a deer or something like that. There might be a caribou looking pet somewhere. Hydra could be unique. Trolls have ties to them. But think of the food bills. Three mounts. Friend has a hunter named Pokemon. All his pets were Pokemon. Green tiger with orange stripes would be a good one for trolls. From Fellwood, right? I remember that quest line. Oh, okay. We're getting there. We're nearly there. One more of these. Yeah, getting the mining well. Oh, getting the mining well mounted is super the move as long as you don't accidentally slap a poor, innocent bystander otter. Yikes. Oh, I don't have any poisons on. Bad rogue. I had a moose pet, the moose mount, and a moose battle pet. Oh, you're themed. You having fun with rogue? It's okay. It's okay. I think I would have more fun in her if it did more damage. I basically never stealth. I'm pretty sure... Hi, kitty cat. I'm pretty sure I'm doing it wrong. I'm not really getting into... I've never really been much of a stealth class kind of person, even in other games. I would rather confront a problem face on with like a battle axe and a nice big shield. Or, by just blowing it up with a caster sort of situation as opposed to sneaking by it. Because sneaking is scary because what if they see you? It's an otter catastrophe. Oh, how are we doing? 42 nodes sounded like a lot, but it's really gone by quite quickly. We're almost done. Love my boomy. Like druids better. Stealthy kitty claws. You can mine while being mounted. You need some knowledge points. Herbalism has a trait like this as well. There's a early trait you can spec into with your knowledge points, and when you cap it out, it lets you mine while mounted. Or pick herbs from the back of your mount. Love my stealth in kitty form. I think I've killed 500 frogs today. For what? What did they do to you? What do you want from them? That's why you have 2 vanishes. Yeah. Just not my archetype, I think. Although I do like being able to open my own lockboxes, or at least have the option to open my own lockboxes. So it's a cute alt. I think the name Ripsy is one of the cutest things I've ever come up with, so I'm keeping her forever. She's got her little goggles on. There we go, level 70. Woohoo! We're taking her back to town. I was gonna sell some stuff, but may as well. Have I still got my warrior, or was he part of the Great Hazel Purge? The Night Elf warrior was purged. I have a gnome warrior now instead. I leveled Crinkle to not replace Evelyn, but I leveled Crinkle to replace the Night Elf. I wanted a gnome warrior. So I do have one at 70. She's Fury. She is furious. I don't use her for much. She's probably one of the characters that I play the least of my endgame alts. I guess there's no point in me further blacksmithing, so I can probably just sell all of this stuff. I don't think I'm going to use any more of it. Yeah, I can always buy it back or something one day if I decide that I'm gonna, level this particular character's blacksmithing. I suppose. For the moment, we're just gonna chuck all of it and get whatever gold we can have out of it. And then it's time to start setting up the hunter. I think her bars are in good order. She might even have heirlooms on already. She might be pretty much ready to go. It was taking me a little while to get my alts made up and ready for their adventure, but she might be in good shape. Yeah, I kind of cheesed the rogue leveling. I did a lot of dragon racing. I did a lot of pet battle world quests. I did a lot of midsummer bonfires. And then I did a lot of gathering at the end of it. I probably did like 3 levels worth of actual like rogue questing in the course of everything that we did. All right, and then I'm gonna send my hunter the gold. And then she can use it to buy stuff to blacksmith with later, I suppose. There we go. Any Primalisk gear around? Oh yeah, but that's a later me thing. I am currently just keeping the characters in Vildraken, wearing whatever they finished wearing when they leveled, and my plan is, at the end of the experience buff, when I am done with leveling everything, then I'm gonna make myself a list, write down all the names and what they need, or whatever, and then log on to the bank vault that has all of this stuff and kind of divvy it out, just so I don't have to do it in a bunch of different trips. That may or may not be a good idea. It's kind of like leaving all of your dishes for the weekend, but that is in fact what I'm doing. All right, so here's the hunter. I mogged her in something or another. I don't know. I think she looks cool. I don't have each class at 70. And maybe I won't. There's classes that I just don't really want. And I think, yeah, there's classes that I just, yeah, I guess I'm good actually. What are we? We're wearing, yeah, I've got all my heirlooms on. I have my bars are set up. I have bags. I could use a reagent bag actually. And we can pick up professions when we get there. Simply stitched. That was lucky timing on the boat. That's the Zeppelin. The one that goes to the Dragon Isles. The one that goes to the Dragon Isles. Hunter's name is Everything Nice and her pets are Sugar and Spice. Oh, that's cute. Managed to get a bank cult named Banker. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Demon Wolf. How you doing? Yeah, the classes that I'm missing, I do not have any paladins, monks, demon hunters. My Death Knight is very low level currently. I have like a level 19 or something Death Knight. Oh, my kitty's purring. Hi. You see this cat? Thoughts about twin pets? Like having the same thing twice? Not for me. Not for me, I think. I like my individuals. What do I have right now? I have Took the hyena. We like Took. And then we have Snips the crab, who I have in the past given, I think, a crab shank? Yeah. Yeah, we are in business with that. I'm probably still going to keep my eye out for another pet to have in the second slot instead of Snips, but... Yesterday was Windwalker Monk Day for me. Today's Frosty K. Paladins Monks so much fun. I'm sure they are. I'm just, I don't know. I like the classes that I like. Hunter's named after Sarah J. Maas characters, except for my main. Had her name since LK. I used to go through phases whenever I was reading a book and also playing a Pokemon game, is I would nickname all of my Pokemon after all of the characters in whatever book I was currently reading, and then whenever I picked up like a save file that had been inactive for years, I would be able to tell when I had been playing it based on what all the characters' names were. That knife is bigger than your character. It is large. It is pretty threatening. I don't remember. Yeah, it's got 60 minutes. It's a 60-minute buff. We might need to have a crabshank command. Sometimes that attracts some attention. It's a sick pet. Just got the Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent. Congrats, Acer, eh? It's so exciting. Crabs with threatening auras. I like the implication that a crab would even need a shank. They have like huge, serrated, you know, grip strength pinchies. Blood Elf Fury Warrior Sword's bigger than she is. I'll win. Thank you very much for the 10-month resub. Man, I am not hearing alert sounds at all. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that sometime. Although, I think my Bluetooth's just cutting in and out. That might be part of it. Alrighty. I have some rested. I'm gonna go get my professions, like, first, I think. We need a dragon riding mount. I can just stick her back in the Slither Drake. We like the Slither Drake. I'm gonna need to spend my... Here, I'll make sure I get onto the dock so that I don't accidentally go back to Orgrimmar. I'm gonna spend all of these because you gotta do it every time. I don't think I'm gonna worry too much about buying profession equipment. I certainly could, but well, I guess I don't need that. I guess we can do the enemy instead. There we go. And then we're gonna make sure we have Drake Break on F because it's for... Oof, I'm going too fast. There's World Quest there. There's like quests over here. Do I not have Leatrix on? I must have Leatrix. Oh, she doesn't really have much of anything, does she? So we're gonna turn on... What do I want? She doesn't really need craft sim, doesn't really need details. Not worried about handing outs. Leatrix for sure. Plater for sure. I'm gonna turn off postal. I've been having some issues. I won't worry about rare scanner, rarity, TSM. Weakor is fine. Yeah, okay. Bad Boy is the add-on that filters whispers. It can do other things, but the way I use it is just to prevent receiving whispers from players that I don't know. I want to go turn... Yeah, I want to fix my professions. That's what I want to do. I want to go get skinning and leatherworking. Did you customize the Drake or is it a new one? This is the Drake that they added in patch 10.1. These are the default options. I haven't customized it yet at all on this particular character. This is the Slither Drake. Also, in 10.1.5, the oh, I always forget what it's called. Celestial something. No. The big, ugly, gold-looking one that they added as a shot mat way back in the day, that thing is getting a, kind of, you know, set up and tacked onto this skeleton, and therefore re-rigged for, like, well, no, I don't want to have herbalism. We're going to drop herb mining, because I've done that every time so far, and I'm over it. And I'm all excited about this crafting experience thing. I'm having a hard time with my W key. Maybe I need to clean my keyboard. It's time for Hazel's annual keyboard and computer cleaning. And by annual, I mean annual. Leatherworking. Very good. And skinning. Oh, nice. It's all right here. I can train you in skinning. Yes, please. This is definitely not a mistake. There's no way. And then you're going to give me some quests. We're going to drop that. Although, I wonder if you could actually do that quest if you didn't have her just, like, pick up the profession, grab the quest. Cheese your way to 1 quest worth of experience for all the good that does you. Oh, there's like a tool bench here and everything. I guess I could buy like some cheap skinning tools just for the heck of it. Profession equipment, skinning, and then we can sort it by item level and see, yeah, we can get like a hat for 180. What does a skinner's cap look like? There's the knife, and then there's also a durable pack. The 346 version's like 2K. Oh. No, those are just expensive for some reason. Okay. Finesse. Bunch of finesse for all. This is an absolute terrible investment, but whatever. Heart of the Aspects. Thank you. I can never remember what that thing is called. No ideas whatsoever. Alright, nice. So she's gonna have some... yeah, prof equipment we can slap on. That'll help her with her stats a little bit. And then I've got a reagent bag. Yeah, so that'll be where I put all my leather. Cool. Yeah, that's all sorted. Let's grab our flight path and some quests and just kind of have at it. Don't see why not. Much faster with Leatrix. Flaps. Professions in Dragonflight convoluted. Engineering came to a grinding halt, couldn't make anything. Yeah, a lot of professions will hit a point where you need, in order to keep leveling it, you need recipes that are either from Dragonflight renowns or from knowledge points. So usually you can get by with one of those two things. So if your knowledge points are going into a direction that doesn't get you any recipes, you can usually work around that by getting yourself some reputation with like the original renowns. And then just check those rep vendors to see if there's any patterns you can buy. I leveled my tailoring a shocking amount of the way towards the end with making like fishing hats. And I got that recipe from Dragon Scale reps. So there are other places to get them, but it is not immediately obvious when you are leveling them up. Okay. Oh, it's Captain Garrick and her son from the starting area. I guess I didn't really think that through. That does make sense. Always be crafting? Yeah, okay. And then we've got these ones here too. Is the drop chance once per difficulty, once per week? Guildies keep telling me conflicting info. So they just posted recently some clarification on this. And basically, you want to kill it on the highest difficulty that you're going to for the week, and then you don't need to do it on any lower difficulties. So if you can do it on Heroic and you killed on Heroic, then you're not going to get any additional chance from doing it on Normal or LFR. But like if you did it on LFR first, and then you did it on Heroic, you would get the difference of chances. So you can always get a little bit more chance by doing a harder one, but if you just do the hardest one that you know you're going to do once, then you don't need to try again. It's annoying. I'm right there with you. I had a raid night. I had a raid night last night. And I killed it twice because I did not know at the time that they had made that change. I was out of the loop. I did not know. Oh, I can skin all of this stuff. I wonder how much that's going to slow me down, because skinning definitely does not give any, like, experience. Skinning hat has ear flaps. It's super funny, like a winter ear flap thing. Let me see. Yeah, I like how she's just immediately cold. That's pretty good. I don't have a hat like that in real life, but I could see myself having one day because it just looks practical. See you later, kitty cat. Bye bye. Oh. Mount skin can drop on all difficulties. That I don't know if there's any kind of a drop rate disparity between difficulties. It also doesn't seem to want to drop very much. Maybe it's just my guild getting unlucky, but that mount skin, we got one of them from our first normal kill. And we have not seen another one for the entire guild since. Whereas with the Razageth skin, it seemed like every week we would kill it, and like one, maybe two people, sometimes nobody, but usually on average one person per kill would get the Raz skin. And this one's just not dropping. We've only seen one also from the first normal kill. Which is a little bit of a bummer, just because it's awesome. I feel like we're gonna want to, I mean, depending on what the guild feels like, but I'm gonna want to continue killing it on normal. And I guess I could use alts for that too, but I'm going to want to continue killing it on normal just for the skin, you know, Evoker Legendary aside. What is the drop rate, ballpark? We don't know. The shouts in general chat I feel like are really misleading because my understanding is those are region-wide. So anytime anybody from all of North America makes one, if you play in an NA realm, you're going to see that shout, and vice versa for EU. Or the same thing for EU. So it leads you to believe that there's tons of them, but when in reality those are region-wide shouts. I am quite sure. There's no way they could possibly be realm-specific because there's just not. They're just not dropping that much. I wonder if they made that shout region-wide just so that people, you know, don't start bandying about conspiracy theories that the Evoker Lego does not exist because no one's ever seen one personally. It's like, yeah, you saw that one person. You know, the triumphant roar that echoed from atop the seat of the aspects as Nazura was like reformed or whatever. It totally exists, just not for you. Mythic kill guaranteed a Lego? I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. Neither group's seen the mount getting skin drop. Some days there's like 6 of them going out back to back. Yeah, we're nearly here with this. I'm assuming it's going to take me a couple days to get my hunter here leveled to 70 because I'm not really doing any, you know, the time walking I was able to get characters wow, I wish you could AoE skin. With time walking I was able to get characters, you know, 60 to 70 within one stream. It was like 2.5 hours if I had back-to-back like tank or healer queues, and then like 2 hours if I brought Flabby, because he would just make the dungeons go so fast with all the damage. Oh, there's more of them over here. Oh, I'm getting all kinds of grays. We got some regular. I got 25 skinning scale, and I just got some regular adamant scales that are worth like silver. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be bothering with skinning, but it's just, I just want to. Don't even have Dragonflight in my new account. Yeah, I think that it really echoes everywhere. I heard that there was a weak aura that turns it off or like filters it out for you. I have not gotten that. I can't decide if seeing those roars makes me hopeful or bitter. I haven't figured that one out yet for myself. Pop up in all the old general chats, not just the Dragonflight ones. Yeah. Okay. Practice materials, very good. I'm gonna have to restrain myself from my desire to craft myself a bunch of stuff until later, because I want to save all those first crafts for level 68 is what I'm deciding now. Deliver Pioneer's leather boots. Well, I mean, I guess if I have like a quest for it. I like berserking and a regular troll. I feel like I want to wear less armor on her though. She's wearing a lot for just, I feel like I want something real, I don't know, just like a bunch of pieces of leather strapped together. You know, she needs something nimble for adventure. Running around Mulgore, saw like 3 of them. I know top players making evokers over and over to get it. Delivers salamander scales. Oh! So I might have to skin salamanders in particular. That's kind of cool. The extent of my skinning experience is buying mats to get leatherworking stuff crafted for my other characters. And I guess I hadn't really gotten it through my head that there might be like specific drops from certain mobs or anything, but I guess that checks out. You know, we had Murloc scales, Whelp scales back in the day. It's kind of neat. I'm mostly just getting adamant scales. What are we talking about? Was doing laundry. I was complaining about the Evoker Legendary and how it exists for everybody except for me and anybody that I know. Just because of the triumphant shout that happens. I can now choose a new skinning specialization. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you do level that up really fast. So, tanning, leather scales, hides, unique materials, creates bait. We're going to worry about just the basic one for now. And then we're just going to... Oh, I don't have any knowledge points yet. I guess I don't need to dunk them in there. Is it just 1 salamander? No, 3 salamander scales. Have I gotten any salamander scales? Adamant, adamant, maybe meat. Not so much, no. Imagine running the raid like 15 evokers for the Lego. I've seen, the one LFR that I did was basically half evokers. And they were all kitted out too. I was in there in LFR on my 440 evoker and I was like inspecting all these other evokers and they were all basically in exactly the same thing, like heroic rating evokers. Just invading this LFR trying to get a Lego. I'm glad I don't need to do that anymore. I'm glad that I can just kind of sit out. Maybe I'm going to not worry so much about that and that one, the artisan supply quest. We're just going to leave those be. Because that's going to slow me down more than it probably should. Can I reach it from here? No? Not so much. It never occurred to me that Horde rescues different people. I suppose they must. Is this my first Horde character that I'm leveling in Dragonflight? I have a gnome. I have a gnome priest and a gnome warrior. I have an alliance evoker. I have a alliance druid. This might be my first Horde character. Put them out. Yeah. That is true. And if you do it, I feel like if you do it on Tuesday, doing Sark LFR is not that bad because it's just the one boss and it's just the one boss and the groups seem pretty smooth if you do them right at the top of the week. Although, I guess it'll depend. Maybe now that like the heroic rating, the normal rating evokers don't need to do LFR anymore. Once the word gets out, they may not do LFR anymore and you may have less experienced groups overall on average. What happens if you do a late Monday raid? Highest difficulty for the week. I mean, I think late Monday raids are going to go about how late Monday raids always go. Sendrax, are you ready? You want to talk to me? Do I have a bear on my back? Is that what the skinning pack looks like? It has a bear head. Oh, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I am skinning, it is true. I'm gonna, like, reload. I think I broke Sendrax. Do I have the Dust Spirit Pet yet? I don't think so. If those are the ones that you get for doing the... Oh, sorry, that's mounts. Those are the ones that you get for doing... Yeah, no. The Zap Throttle Soul Inhaler, I have not... I tried farming them a little bit for a second. Why won't you turn in? I tried farming them a little bit early. I haven't done it since I think they hotfixed it to make it easier to solo. What else was I gonna do? I had a plan. I had some kind of a thought. I don't know. It's all gone. Tanks who don't know the fight can blow up most of the raid in LFR. I mean, people... Oh, there we go. Maybe it was just RPing still. People that get clipped by the Void Slash can also do it pretty good. Even if the tank is facing it dutifully in one solid direction. I've seen plenty of... Oh, you coming back? What I started doing on LFR because I was healing it was I started watching for that. I would check everybody after every Void Slash to see if they had the debuff. And then if anybody else had picked it up, I would save up I would try to top people up ahead of the boom, and then I would save up like a big, temporal anomaly echo spirit bloom to fix it. Basically, I would play around it to try to heal people up really quickly so that you had a little bit of space between the different things. I'm gonna farm the dust spirit pet until I get it, or it puts me in the hospital, which it might. Kitty cat's adorable. You're welcome back, kitty cat. I'm always very flattered when she wants to hang out with me. There's so many different places she could be here. There's different beds that she could sleep in. There's like windows that she could listen to the birds at. You want to come sit here with me? Thanks. Kitty purse. Yeah. One day, maybe late Dragonflight, I'm going to have to do kind of an inventory on my pets because I've been kind of sort of collecting pets in Dragonflight, but I've been really lazy about it. And I typically get hit with a desire late expansion to go back in and kind of like fix it, like go back through and collect all of the stuff that I missed along the way. A la the, whatchamacallit, the bird from late Shadowlands. So I'm gonna have to, because I know I'm missing some Zerlite Caverns ones. I know I'm missing the Zap Throttle pets. I think there might even be some crafted pets that I don't have, potentially. I have a cat that looks just like yours. Yeah, but you're warm. She's not even snuggling though. She's just sitting on the arm right next to me. Join the stream. Is that a normal troll or a Zandalari troll? This is a dark spear troll. Standard issue troll. Although I put a little face paint on her because they've got some cool options for that. I do think I want to redo her Mog and maybe take her to the barbershop. Something about this is not speaking to me just yet. I don't know what, but something needs to change here. I was wondering if you were interested in trying Hardcore Challenge. Do we know when it's coming out? I've been saying a maybe, but like not a very optimistic maybe. It kind of depends on if there's anything else that I'm more... If there's like a gap or not in other things that I'm currently excited about doing. Because I don't have a huge stake in Classic. It sounds kind of interesting, but I feel like it might be a very short journey for me because I'm not that knowledgeable about Classic. And, a big mistake makes it big over. I'm also not super looking to dive real deep into anything new. Lightly refurbished troll. New coat of paint. Hope you're having a great day. Shaving my Belgian Malinois. Chow Chow Mix listening in. Oh, give doggies some pets for me. That sounds real cute. Do they like the shaving and grooming, or do they tolerate it with great disdain? I passed I don't know what kind of dog it was. Someone was walking a dog that walked by me yesterday. And the dog looked at me, and it looked like it wanted so badly to stop and say hi, but they were going someplace, and, you can't meet every dog that you see on the street. But it just looked so excited, and so cute, and so happy, and I just wanted to, like, scoop it up, and then steal it? I didn't. I don't steal dogs. But if I did, it would be that one. Shaved my Belge turf once. Vet said they shouldn't be shaved. I'm sure that there's some animals that need shaving just in certain areas. What is that? Oh, it's probably my my low pet health sound. Yeah, whenever I've had double coated dogs, it's always been a just brush, don't shave kind of situation. But I don't know much about Malinois. I want to... Yeah, we can just do these elementals. These ones are fine. I saw somebody, I walked by a dog park, and there was a Samoyed there. And you could tell that somebody had brought that Samoyed to the dog park and then brushed it excessively because there was, like, a blast area of the white fur that had just like come out and matted up on the grass and was like drifting off in the wind everywhere. And I understood and related because whenever I've had dogs like that, I understand that it is worth more than your life to try to brush them indoors. And if you don't have an outside, then the dog park's kind of the only place you've got to do it. You know, not everybody's got a yard. Bird's probably building some sick nests with that hair. I've seen people gather it up and then have these little hanging sort of cage things where they tuck like hair into for the birds to take for their nests. It's like a thing people do around here. It's kind of cool. Samoyeds are more fluff than dog. Birds love dog hair. Alrighty, we've got quest to turn in here. Quest to turn in here. I'm looking forward to 61 because I think it's going to help with my damage. And I'm going to try and maybe take a little look-see at the world quest once I get 61 as well. I might even buy some crafted stuff. I know I could craft it myself, but I might even buy a little crafted stuff just to fill out some of the non-heirloom armor slots and make sure that the item level's caught up. Because that was one thing that I think I did, not wrong, but maybe a bit inefficiently on my rogue. Was, her gear was awful the whole time. She had heirlooms, and that was the only thing that made her kill anything at all. It could have been way faster otherwise. Yeah, we're not going to worry about the salamander scales for now. We're just going to leave that one alone. YouTube keeps pushing that short you posted 6 years ago saying your internet was down. Hope your connection comes back soon. I gotta delete that video. Part of me wants to just leave it up for the meme, but I think I should probably get rid of it. Private it or something. It was just, that was back in the days when I like posted all the time, so I felt like I needed to say something. There was another one where my computer was broken too. I like that video. I know, it just seems like such a rough thing for people to get recommended out of context. Oh man. Squirrels ripped up my patio chair cushions to take the stuffing for nests. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. I know that they'll, squirrels and even like rats and mice will chew up cordage that people have outside to make fluff, and then they'll take that for their nest too. Am I 61? No, we're almost there though. Hi. Hi. How you doing? How are things? I'd say, guess what I... No, you know what I will say. Guess what I did yesterday. Guess what I went and did. Kitty pets. We're just waiting for RP over here from Sendrex. New follower? Welcome, Cielo. Kitty cat says hi. You want the massage? Do you get tense in your shoulders too? Muffins. Yes, but that wasn't what I had in mind. I did make the muffins. Oh, there we go. I did make their... Although I forgot to put the pumpkins... I put the pumpkin seeds in the muffins. It's like a bran muffin, and I also put raisins and pumpkin seeds. And I put them in the muffins. But I also usually like to put them on top of the muffins, and then they get all toasty and delicious. And I got distracted, and I forgot. So there's only pumpkin seeds inside the muffin, so I'm going to have to just do it properly next batch. The bean burgers came out all right. I definitely over blitzed them when I was food processing them. So they don't have the burgers themselves, once defrosted, don't have a lot of structure. They also froze together a little bit. I used parchment paper to separate them, but I should have used wax paper, which I don't have. Or just frozen them individually. But I did get them cooked. They fell apart a little bit, but I was able to put them on the bun, and they were pretty tasty. I did like a curry black bean burger, and I have 2 more of them in my freezer, so that's good. Slister, will you finish talking? I'm gonna do my transmog. My cat just stared at yours, my monitor, and just sat down. Ketchup can glue them together. I'm not a big ketchup on burgers person. I don't know why. So that's her baby outfit, but like I want something more leather looking. Leather looking. I'm looking for like harnesses. I'm looking for, let's see here. I have an idea. This might take me a minute. Male armor just looks so metallic, you know? And she's a hunter. She should be wearing something a little more like that, but not exactly that. I want like a leather strappy harness, which is hard when you wear male. What am I thinking of? Like the... I see. I'm thinking of actual leather armor. This one's pretty good. That one's a little more there. The Orgrimmar chest guard. What else do I have? If we're looking, we've got those guys. And then you get into the modern stuff. Yeah, okay. That one's cool too, but we're gonna... And then we want just like a pair of real basic gloves, maybe. Does she even need gloves? Well, what about her fingies? You know. Does she need gloves that match? Fletcher's gloves? We're gonna skip gloves for now. And we're also gonna hide bracers. I want something really, really slimmed down. Yeah. Just something, I mean, it's kind of ugly, but something that looks, I don't know, not super overwhelming. Not necessarily like super skimpy, although I'm not against that. I just want something that she would, you know, be able to like move around in. I feel like she's doing lunges through the forest. She doesn't need a ton of... Yeah, not exactly. Maybe I'll go back to those goblin pants. That's a leather looking piece of gear. Oh, what about these? Yeah, that's a little more like it. If I had... Here, we'll fix the boots. She doesn't wear shoes. Oh, those go with it. Okay. Is there anything that I would like? I know she doesn't really wear shoes, but it would kind of give her like shin guards. What if I hide the chest and I look at shirts? Oh, she's not wearing a shirt right now. I'd have to buy her one. That's no good. Sendrex must be done talking by now, but that's just too bad. I'm busy. Dragon Rider's harness? Do I have it? I do not have a Dragon Rider's harness. I've got a Brawler's harness. I've got Brog's Better Battle harness. Got Razorflank's chainmail. Alright, where was I? Hi. Go back to on terrible next week see family. Probably missed the end of the experience event. What do I put on burgers then? This time I did like a barbecue sauce mayo mixture. And then some like Gouda cheese. Sometimes I'll make like an aioli, which is kind of like lemon juice, pressed garlic, mayo, salt, pepper is good. Sometimes I just put salad dressing on them. I used to get big slabs of salmon burgers, and I would just put Caesar salad dressing on them. That was pretty good. Alright, I need to keep leveling or else I'm never going to finish leveling, but I don't know what I'm wearing yet. I think that Orgrimmar harness was about as good as that was going to get, unless I want to wear like a little male crop top for now. Little chain vest. Sure. And then maybe... I do want her to have kind of like a dark spear looking bow. But maybe those are kind of Zandalari looking bows, aren't they? What would the difference be? Something troll-like, you know? How do you get the game to look like that? In what way? I play with my native resolution at 4K. I downscale it to 1080 for stream. I keep my shadows turned down real far because overhead. Let's pick up Brutal Dragon Slayers maybe. PvP bows? I don't want anything too chunky. I like these ones. I like these ones and I'm going to wear one of them. I'm going to wear it in that color. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's a little bit more reasonable. I mean, that bow's huge, but that's okay. Okay. We're gonna mark Sendrex so we don't lose her. Speaking of places and nicknames for them and being bad, I passed somebody that had a bumper sticker, and the bumper sticker said X place, you know, place name, insert your imagination here, sucks, don't go. Or maybe it was phrased, don't go to blank, it sucks. And I was like, well, that's a funny bumper sticker to have. And then it occurred to me, It's probably somebody from there, and they probably sell them there because it's like a beautiful place. And they're trying to preserve the beauty by discouraging tourism. Or, you know, transplanting, I suppose. Oh, she goes faster if you tell her to leave. That makes sense. Charnik, thank you very much for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. So anytime I hear anybody insulting a place, I try to pretend that it's because they actually secretly really like it and they're just trying to keep it for themselves. With the exception of Nanaimo, which I will die on that hill. Sort of sentiment rampant in Colorado. There was a fair amount of it in Oregon when I lived there. There was this notion that a lot of people were moving to Oregon from outside of it and like making it too busy. And I mean, I had moved to Oregon, so I couldn't really disagree with that too much. Kitty, you're so cute. There we go. But the thing that I did that I wanted you to guess was I purchased some hot pepper seeds. I walked to a garden center. I went looking and I picked out 2 different kinds of peppers to try to sprout in my hydroponic system. I grabbed some jalapeno seeds and then also some cherry pepper seeds to see how they do in my little office hydroponic setup, because I'm trying to grow peppers in my balcony. They're not getting enough sun. They're upset with me, so maybe growing some little ones indoors under a real strong lamp. It's not that I really want to eat hot peppers that badly, it's just that I like growing them for fun. It was something that I started doing in my 20s because I just like was bored in a Fred Meyer and raided the like, you know, went and shopped from the seeds starting section. I just got like some potting soil and a flower pot and some jalapeno seeds, and it was like the most fun ever. And now I'm destined to repeat that until the end of days. Smokey2, thank you for the 11-month resub. Happy to be back another month. Welcome back. Glad to have you. That's why Iceland is called Iceland and Greenland is Greenland, to try and trick people into mixing them up. Generational Oregonians, a bit passive aggressive. Used to be a sign on the CA border that said, "Welcome to Oregon. Thanks for visiting." Keep your seeds in your computer desk. I mean, I already planted them, so like I kept them on my desk so I could read them during raid. I was raiding last night, and I'm trying to not like multi-monitor multitask while raiding, because I'm trying to work on, you know, bending my attention on one thing at a time. Although obviously not, but anyways, I'm trying to not just be like browsing stuff on my second monitor. So I put my seed things on the desk so I could read the back of them and look at the pictures whenever we're waiting to pull seeds over raid leader instructions. Yeah, you get it. I am nothing if not a giant pack of hypocrisies. I have lots of bags of seeds that I like, because I don't use all of them. Once upon a time when I would buy a packet of seeds, I would plant the entire thing, and I would sprout as many of them as I could, and I would save as many of them as I could, and then I would end up with like 50, you know, like pepper sprouts or whatever. And I came to realize that it was, unless I was prepared to, you know, give them away for free on Craigslist every time, which I did do once or twice in my youth. That did work. It was a lot easier to just kind of not use all of them, but then I end up with just like, you know, packets of old seeds. And seeds don't last forever. They do have a better germination rate if they're relatively fresh. They'll even have plant buy dates printed on them. So I could probably do an inventory of all my various drawers and, you know, chuck some stuff. But seeds are just so exciting because you can, what were these? This is $2.19, and then this was $2.99. And, you know, you get with like a container and some dirt and some water, maybe some sunshine, you've got yourself possibilities. I love starting seeds. It's not the right season to start them right now, but that's why we're doing it inside. It's on brand. It just seemed like the most fun thing you could possibly do for like $5 at the store. I'm looking for the whelpling that like sits behind the tent, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Hi, Hazel and Chat. Been a minute. Lovely catching you live. Hello, Ivashkov. Hope you've been doing well. But the problem, well, one of the problems, I'm sure there might be more, which is why it's an adventure. I want the, yeah, thank you. The problem with sprouting pepper seeds is that compared to some things like herbs, it takes forever forever for them to germinate. It could be up to a couple of weeks before I see any sprouts. And I have no patience when I'm like at the early stages of doing like a project or a hobby or something like that. I will check them constantly. And I know that I'm not going to see anything for weeks, and it's all on a timer. It's all being taken care of. There's nothing for me to do. Doesn't matter. I'm obsessed. I can't leave it alone. Which is okay, you know. It'll make it that much more exciting when it finally does sprout. Slugs ate all my radishes. I'm sorry for your loss. That really sucks. I ate my first raspberry. I managed to get the second one. The birds took well, I think the birds. It could have been anybody, but the birds took the first one. But I managed to get the second one, and it was delicious. Sometimes I'm afraid when I grow something that because I grew it, if I did it wrong, that maybe the fruit will look good but then taste bad. And then whenever it tastes really yummy, I'm like hyper proud of myself, despite the fact that I didn't really do anything aside from plant something and water it a bunch. Well, a bunch is a strong word. I need to bring more. I have this potato planter, and I have no idea how much to water it. It always looks happy, but it's like a pretty big amount of dirt. And, I don't know. I just don't want it to... I feel like by the time that they start complaining, it's going to be... I will have already done some underwatering damage, so... Okay, I'm level 61. That's good. I'm gonna check the auction house. Armor, mail, usable only, upgrades only. We're gonna sort by item level. We want to wear some item level 61 craft. Yes, because I can get huge upgrades to these slots. So we're gonna get some bracers. And I mean, sure, I could probably buy some of these things, but a pair of bracers, boots. Only in non-heirloom slots, mind you. So bracers, boots. I probably want a belt if I can get one. The belt's not so good. Bracers, boots, because we don't need vest. But yeah, we'll start with that. Is there a mailbox around here? I mean, I could drop one. I guess I will. I'll do that. I can also check world quests and see if there's anything good. Because that will bring my item level up. Yeah, pretty good chunk. Love that I can copy a URL for my talents. Nice having a garden, but then you get all the problems that don't happen on a patio. Like the slugs. I've seen people make big barriers out of, I don't know how well this works, but people grow rhubarb here, and then you see them, when the rhubarb's done, take like the big extra leaves, because apparently rhubarb leaves are a bit toxic, and like line their fences and their garden beds on the outside with them to try to like, I guess, make barriers against the, against slugs. It's all kinds of cool stuff. I don't know how well it works, but I intend to find out. If I ever have my own garden, I'm gonna keep record. Well, I think I'm gonna keep records. Maybe I'm just gonna YOLO it and then forget everything, but records of all the different things that I try and the things that I see and how well things grow and, you know, what likes to be where, and, you know, you gotta keep track of the crop rotation. Do you do anything with rhubarb but make pies? No. Strawberry rhubarb pie, strawberry rhubarb crumble. I had a strawberry rhubarb Danish. It was life-changing. I couldn't tell you in what way my life is different, but it is better now. We have moose that eat gardens, rather nimble for their hugeness. And I imagine there's no discouraging a moose if it's decided it's going to have some of your garden. I don't think... I mean, I've never lived there, but I'm imagining you probably don't go out there and go, hey, scram. Just rhubarb is fire. Core memory of having to throw away all the rhubarb in the garden in the 80s because Chernobyl. Oh, man. That's wild. Ontario, worst thing were squirrels, deer, insects, slugs. Deer seem like a pretty big deal. You can tell who's really been ravaged by the deer scourges by who has built basically defense matrices around their gardens. Because people will have, sometimes you'll walk by a house that has a garden that's just got like the super tall deer fencing plus like bird netting in different places, and I feel like you probably need to pass a biometric scanner in order to access it. And it does dampen the romanticness of the garden a little bit, but I get it if you've just been losing your crops to animals this whole time. You grow something, you want to eat it. Rhubarb pie is my favorite. Last house had wild rhubarb and strawberries. I'll still eat my mom's rosebuds. How are we doing? I'm gonna not do Soggle yet because I learned from doing this last time that there is a quest that you get after this first little section that overlaps with that world quest. So if I wait and I do these guys first, I can basically get double credit for it and not have to do them twice. I had to do them twice in the rogue. The poor duck. I don't mean to shade them, but these ducks don't seem very capable. Deer fences can be so ugly. Nice option, just more expensive. I feel like you need to put a nice sign on it that's like got no deer allowed, like an old-fashioned clubhouse style sign. Although they might take that as a challenge. You know, the deer that can read. I feel like my crab would eat these crabs for breakfast. Oh, does he still? You know what? I need to put the crab shank on my bar. Very important. Can't live without that. Did these quests last night, Marksman Hunter. We have a 6-foot fence, but the moose can jump it if they want to. Oh. Have we tried just asking? I always, whenever I see a deer munching on somebody's yard, I'll always tell the deer that I'm not gonna rat them out. I'm cool, you know. I won't tattle. Try and make them a food offering similar to the blood offering I make for the mosquitoes. Raspberries coming back, but I think I need new strawberries. My strawberries are not doing well this year. I either will need new ones or I'll need to like try moving them or something. I just hate the idea that I could possibly... I know that's like a thing with strawberries, but it bothers me that I could need to like start over like it's some kind of a dishwasher that you can't repair. Not that dishwasher's a weird thing, you don't usually throw those out, but you know what I mean. Like, I want to make the existing plant happy. I don't want to just write it off as compost. How old are the plants? Well, that's the thing is they're plants. They should grow. Mad about it. You know, this is their second year for mine. But like in the woods, without people, strawberries seem to manage just fine without having to get thrown out and then purchased new from garden store every second year. Like, you know, what's the nature solution? Eat it. Mine are 3 years old. Grapes you need to make happy for a long time. In-laws would feed the deer to prevent them hanging out by the poorly lit road that people were driving too fast on. Yeah. I see deer crossing the roads at like intersections here. Like they'll walk to the roundabouts and intersections and then cross. And then they'll just trot on down the sidewalk. It's quite funny. As long as you're careful when you're driving, you don't catch them. Rampaging wind? Rampaging wind. One more. There we go. Downtown Victoria? Not like downtown, although maybe. But you get more into the neighborhoods that kind of surround downtown. But yeah, definitely like walking distance from downtown. There's deer live in town. There's green spaces. I don't know where they sleep, but they're around for sure. They won't die, but the yield will go down. I think mine might be just not getting enough sun because the leaves look fine. And they flower just fine. And the flowers are all making fruit, but they're making little teeny tiny fruit that just has like 1 or 2 little bulbs and seeds on it as opposed to like a strawberry. And I'm wondering if that could be just like a lack of sunshine, like they just didn't get enough sun power, or maybe the soil. But usually soil deficiencies show up in the leaves, I've found. I don't know. This is the thing is you make mistakes and then you figure out what happened and then you figure out what you want to do about it. Plug in grow lamp outside. I don't have power outside. I don't even have a hose attachment or anything. Although that's pretty normal for balconies. It's a truck a can of water kind of situation. You know, you just fill it up enough times. Works out. There we go. So now we can do Soggle Mongle and Wurgle Gurgle. And we should get them for both the World Quest and the Quest. if I can remember where they are. Strawberries for a long time in the garden. Don't think they've ever been replanted. Yeah, they did okay in this spot last year, but I think it's because this year I definitely packed the balcony with more stuff, so they're getting to some extent shaded out by the other plants that I have out there. Whereas last time they kind of had a bit more of a clear space, as well as some, you know, like walls for the light to reflect off of and bounce back at them. It's definitely a little shadier right there this year. I just need lots of sunshine. All of it. Can I bring the bubbled duckling back? I think as long as I walk it in, that should be fine. Could thin him out. Yeah, it might be too late. I think that the time is past. At least the raspberries are producing. Sure like sunlight indeed. Look at that. How are we doing? 61 and a half. It's not the most experience we've ever had, but I think I'm not questing too quickly. I think I'm just kind of having fun. What dragonflight pets would I like to tame, I guess is the question. I want to tame dragons, but you need to get your Vildraken Accord rep up first for that. You need to, on a hunter, possibly on the hunter that you want to tame the pets on, actually, you need to get Vildraken to, like, I forget what it is, but it's a pretty high renown level, and then you can learn how to tame, like, the fairy dragons and stuff. And I want that. Hippos stay huge, makes me giggle. Lava snails, character specific. But the one thing that I grow on my balcony that never lets me down is my lettuce. I love it. It gets lots of sun, gets a little bit of sun. I think it just doesn't get hot enough for it to really bolt or wilt or anything like that. So I just chucked lettuce seeds in all kinds of different pots and wedged them in around the corners, and I can basically have lettuce for sandwiches or salads or whatever, whenever, which is nice. I can just kind of grab some, it grows back in, it fills back in. It's good. It's that's the one nice thing with the balcony is the sluggies don't get it. I planted beets, but then the potatoes came. So I don't think the beets are gonna do anything because I haven't seen the beet leaves since the potatoes got big, and I think it's gonna be just potatoes out of that one place. Rep unlock for dragon taming account wide as long as you do it on hunter. Oh, okay. I should probably on my hunter then, like my other one. Because her rep must be not too far. I've been giving her Vildraken Accord, and I've been doing dragon races here and there. Her rep should be okay. I should try and, Hi. You leaving? See you later. Get that done, because I love the fairy dragons. I don't know if I would use a fairy dragon on this character. I feel like this hunter needs more, like, wild-looking pets. Bit too much sun this string. Planted 120 tomato plants. 105 are doing well. We'll be eating pasta all summer. That sounds magical. That sounds like so much fun. Do you like can pasta sauce? Do you make salsa? Do you have like an industrial sized jarring setup? I have questions about your kitchen. You can tame Vorkwind? You could, yeah. Why don't I want to? They look kind of funny. They look kind of weird. I love the peafowl. I have a peacock on my other hunter. She's got one of the blue and green looking ones. Big fridge. Huge old bull roaming the forest around our cabin. Can't wait for my basil to grow. I need to get some more of it. I ate the rest of the basil plant that was in my last grow from my hydroponic setup, and I don't have any basil on my balcony right now, but I could wedge a plant in there. So next time I'm like actually at a grocery store, I'm just gonna pick up one of those ones that they have, because usually I'll just stick one of those into a pot somewhere, and that usually makes me basil all summer. I was just lazy about it this year because I had so much basil indoors until the mold came. One day I'm gonna do all of my garden starts from seeds, just because I like starting seeds so much. I just don't have a ton of room to start seeds in this apartment. And also I'm just not that organized. I used to be better about it. I would have like the calendar, I would, plan ahead as to when to start things, and I would, harden them off on a schedule, and I would be paying attention to the frost dates and stuff. And I just haven't really tried that hard since I've moved back here. I've just been kind of winging it. And it's a lot easier to get away with winging it if you just buy starts when they're already medium-sized and chuck them into a pot somewhere. Did I finish the world quest? I think I must have. I must have done it. Yeah. There we go. Grand Night Sabers from BFA. Yeah, sure. Yeah, those are beautiful. Do I want one of these? Is that cute or am I crazy? I like that it's grateful. I mean, tragically deceased waterfowl and grateful basilisk. Oh my god. Alrighty. No, not that one. I wanted the green one. The green one. Sorry. Bummer. Maybe I have mouse over on or something. Here, we'll skin you. There we go. Basilisk are not cute. Hydroplant farm. I just have an arrow garden. I have one little appliance in my office to play with for fun. Look how big he is. I'm gonna name him... Resisting the urge to name him Quackers after his last meal. Oh. Chonksy. Curgy. Grumps. Kevin, Albert. You know me, I gotta come up with my own names. Too much pressure, can't do it. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. We're going to Skullcracker Keep. Do not name him after me. You're probably safe. Monsieur Croc. Chompy. Spike. I do kind of like Spike. It's like, wasn't there one like that from Land Before Time? I'm gonna call it Spiky. Because I'm a giant child. Alright, hi Rathian. Yeah, the ankylosaur. Sometimes, and I've had this thought more than once, I'll be in bed about to fall asleep, just having like those kind of weird thoughts that you get when you're really, really tired. And sometimes I get to thinking about dinosaurs and what the world might have looked like in different places during various prehistoric eras. And then I get to thinking about dinosaurs, and then I get to thinking about, well, there was so many different kinds of dinosaurs. Would any of them have liked me? Which was there, in all of the years, and we'll never know. So if you say no, I'm not going to believe you. But in all of the years of there being dinosaurs, was there ever one that, if I had met it at the right time in its life and my life, that we could have been friends, you know? We could have had a mutual accord, an understanding. Would any of the dinosaurs like me? And I've thought about this on more than one occasion, and I don't know what I don't think it has to mean anything. Morning Hazel, morning Chet, morning Josh. Haven't mowed my grass in over a month. Now I don't want to because there's wildflowers everywhere. The bees and the butterflies love them so much. This way. Meeting a moose cow with calves and a path barely wide enough for a human to use. Oh, yeah. Spooky. Lots of people keep pet reptiles. Yeah, I'm imagining, I mean, I guess there were probably little dinosaurs too. I'm imagining like a dinosaur the size of like a cow. Because I betcha if I really put my mind to it and I made it my life's goal, I could probably make friends with a cow. I could probably acquire a couple of cows and then, you know, like hang out with them all the time, and then maybe one of them would like me. Cows can be really sweet if you get to know them. He's dead. He's like real dead. I'm gonna just wait for him, I suppose. Perhaps an herbivore? Maybe. Lots of them would have liked to have you over for dinner. Yeah, maybe. It's kind of the same way that, like, I love bears, and I would love to be friends with a bear, but I will never actually try to make friends with a bear because I am sentimental, but I'm not dumb. We'll hide scraps. Josh, thank you for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Welcome to the ad-free Hazel stream life. They can be sweet, but not much going on between the ears. What if they think that about us, you know? What if we're just misunderstanding each other? Show where people lived in harmony with dinosaurs? I must not have seen it. I don't remember. Reading about dragonflies? Wingspans of over 2 feet. Oh, that's sick. Also, horrifying. That's a big bug. Colorful parrot, like a bird for your hunter? Yeah, I like that, actually. I would love a parrot. I would like that. You probably tame... I know you can tame, like, parrots in BFA, like Tiergard Sound, freeholdish areas. There's parrots you can tame there. Do I want to do this world quest? It'll give me a belt. Yeah, I do want to do the world quest, and I want to get the belt. So we need to kill, like, some phoenixes. There's also this, invade the camp kind of quest. Spike is small now. Oh, really? He was so big. He was so big for, like, a second. He's still pretty big. I think... Is he smaller? He might be a little smaller. That's kind of a big, scary one. I don't really know... Oh, there's a Rage Tamer. I was going to say, I don't really know where the mobs are for this world quest, but that's okay. Don't forget to skin. Yeah, it's a good point, actually. I should... Especially if we find any beasts. Some scoundrels here. I don't know if I've ever actually stopped and done this world quest. I didn't spend all that much time doing world quests in Dragonflight. I find them to be not quite as frustrating as the BFA ones. But... Or not BFA. Shadowlands. Shadowlands had some hideous world quests. But... Especially when they want you to do... It's not like they need you to do so many mobs. It's like, what, 9, 14 mobs? But it's just... When you list them all out like that, it sounds like a big to-do list. Miss the Legion world quest, slap a big dude, leave. BFA had them too. BFA had those, like, you know, this guy's stealing an Azurite! Stop him! And then you would go in the cave and you would just kill, like, one person. There was a lot of, you know, like, that bird's really big! Stop him! You know? There was a fair amount of that going on, and especially with flying, people would just kind of drop down from the sky and tag it, and it would be over with very quickly, but it was a nice, efficient world quest. Chores Quest and Bastion. That one was at least cute. I hated, and I know I'm not the only one because I complained about this before on stream, the goalpost moving world quest where they would have you say, oh, you know, just collect this thing and then go fill up this bar. Okay, cool. Now get this thing and then go fill up this bar. And then you're going to go talk to 5 of these people and then you're going to summon a boss. And it's like one world quest. And it wasn't immediately clear in the interface that there were more steps than just the first one it was showing you because it's a world quest. It's not a scenario. Having to get the right steward. Spotted a hummingbird hawk moth for the first time the other day. Oh. Thing you hated most in Shadowlands was Ember Court. Ember Court was up. The thing I hated about Ember Court, the actual scenario itself, super cute, real fun. Didn't mind that at all. It was all of the chores that you had to do to get ready for the party. Apparently, I am not a party planner. I do not like having to figure out snacks and then invite guests by going and doing chores for them. Week after week after week. How many times do I have to steal this horse for you? You keep letting it get away. I didn't care for all of the outside. I guess just because I hadn't budgeted for it in my brain. Like, I figured, oh, Ember Court, I'm gonna go do the party scenario. And then it's like, wait, no. You're gonna do that, but, like, do an hour of other stuff first. And I just didn't wanna. I just had not decided that I wanted to do an hour of other stuff. And then I resented it the entire time. Did I skin that? I must have. Yeah, I did. I got some resilient leather. I wonder if I'm expecting to be skin. Must be. Yeah. So there's a level. That's something. You got to a point where you didn't need to do the party planning? I had to invite the Countess every single week. And then I occasionally needed to restock the snacks. I hated it. It was awful. Scoundrel. It just wasn't what I wanted to be doing. The garden, because I like Pandaria. The garden was okay. The garden was okay. What did the Necrolords have? A-bomb stitching I felt was my favorite one. A-bomb stitching had a surprising amount of personality. And especially early on, it was nice and manageable. Later, once you had like a bunch of different quests to do, it could get kind of out of hand. But then you were also getting, you know, more rewards to go along with it. This one, that one, that one. Renown 4. What time is it? If I want Stampede, I want Death Chakram. That's a good talent. That'll get me some damage. I am going to be right back. Alright, I'm back. Is Melee Hunter fun? People like it. I don't play a whole lot of it, if I'm being honest. I want to turn my music up. I can't hear a whole lot. Oh, it's probably because my Here we go. Wasn't connected. There we go. So, let me get myself doing something. And then, have you guys heard, and if so, what do you think about in 10.1.5, Blizzard allowing people to just trade and send things to characters of other realms? seems like you can just... It's... That seemed like really big news when I read it. Love it, like it. People like it. Yeah! It's, my first thought was, they can't do that. And then I thought, well, why not? And then I couldn't figure out why not. Which is probably a good sign that maybe they can. Especially with region-wide auction houses already having kind of opened up markets. But, my first thought was you could, if you were trying to, like, purchase a battle pet, you could watch for it across different servers and then buy it when it shows up in like a low pop server. And then, you know, vice versa, if you're trying to sell like rare Mog or pets or something and you can't find buyers in your server, it's possible that somebody watching, you know, a service that scans all the auction houses might see it on a different server, send over gold, buy it. Yes. Kind of excited. What are your thoughts? It seems like a good thing. It seems like something that I probably am not fully, you know, understanding all of the various ramifications of. Seems good though. Hadn't heard that. Sounds great. I mean, we can mail alts money in other realms. That's what it sounded like. I haven't tried it on PTR yet, and I'd have to read. I'm gonna read the post again at some point before I make the news video for tomorrow. Shall I just pull it up now? Let me see. Wowhead. Cross realm. The original. Dragonflight fractures in time. Cross-realm trading. Players will now be able to trade items in gold directly to characters in other realms. So they're talking about, like, you know, you're in a cross-realm group, you can trade, you know, potions and whatever. But it kind of I don't see why, if you can trade, why you would not be able to mail. Because that's kind of how it ended up working with, like, cross-faction trading, was you were able to trade items in gold. And then you were also, at that point, able to mail it. So I just need to try it on PTR, I guess. Last stone for research under fire done. I am free. How does it feel? What's next? Account-wide banks and currencies and stuff? Yeah, that would be nice. I would love a gigantic account-wide reagent bank. That would be so nice. I'm done with the firefighting quest. I like Spiky. I like him. I don't think I've ever tamed a basilisk before. And, you know, he's got like a fun tail. He's got kind of like an axe on his tail, actually. He's got sort of like a double-bladed, I bet he could really slap somebody with that thing. Account-wide rep. For me, account-wide rep would mostly just be a cosmetic thing at this point. There's a couple of other applications, but... You know, the main thing I wanted account-wide rep for was for getting rep collecting meta achievements, and then they made it so that reps on different characters count towards those. And then I, you know, got my Pure Heart Courser and whatever, and then it was fine. It was all done. I missed one somewhere. Somebody needs a band-aid. Who is it? Where are you? The other thing that would make it kind of interesting is, like, if you get a piece of gear to drop and somebody wants to buy it off of you within a dungeon, like a raid run. That's actually a thing that I guess they could do now. Like, if they can trade gold. Did it say gold? I mean, it may as well be gold if you can do items, but... You know, before, like, somebody would say, hey, I'll buy that from you. You won the roll, but if I give you 100k, will you give it to me? And my thought was, well, you can't do that. You're not on my server. I guess maybe they'll be able to do it anyway. You can trade gold. Yeah, I haven't tried it on PTR yet. I'm mostly interested in mailing stuff to myself. And I guess it does open up the possibility of, if you wanted to, you could play and level and, you know, use characters in other servers, because there's very few barriers between servers anymore. You know, you wouldn't be able to be a member of the same guild, but if you can send the same things over. But then, like, why would I? Why? What is my motivation for playing a character on a different server? To hide it from my main login screen? This is where I stash my warriors when I don't want to look at them. You know, like, all my warriors are on so-and-so server. Can't wide achievement progress? That would be nice. I mean, there is account-wide achievement progress for a lot of different achievements. I feel like anytime there's not, it's like a specifically intended thing. What do I want? There's a rare right there. Oh yeah, it's just for rock. Nice to know that I can interact more directly with others, still hoping for cross-server guilds. Yeah, at a certain point, I wonder if they're going to kind of make... no, that doesn't really make sense. I was going to say, if they're going to make communities obsolete, because if they continue to erode the barriers of what makes a cross-realm community different from an on-server guild, then what is the point of communities? But communities can be real big, I guess. Do you guys use those, the in-game communities? I don't, and I'm curious to see if they're popular among other players. Infused ruby weapons? Yeah. Feels like communities are just in-game Discord. Nope. Oh. Echo Isle seem kind of dead these days, yeah. I'm in one, but that's about it. Not anymore. Yes. Because there must be some active ones, but yeah, it does kind of seem basically like you're saying, like an in-game Discord. Team up with some streamers. Okay. Books would be over here. Part of two communities, both do similar things. Forming dungeon raid ones. Totally join a Squirrel Squad. We had one at one point, and then it was just, I think it... why did I give up on it? I think it was just on top of the guild. I mean, not that I really have a finger in the guild anymore either, but it was a bit difficult to moderate and redundant. It was easier to organize actual activities among, like, within the actual Lightbringer guild. Used a few for grouping on the fly or messaging non-guild raid members. Guild uses one because we have some cross-server raiders that can't afford to transfer. Fishy one, but not as active as it used to be. Yeah. I found that making and managing a variety of concurrent community spaces for the stream community, or just my community in general, is not my strong suit. And the ones that we have are good. The guild does great things, and the Discord seems to chug along very well, which is nice because I don't give it a lot of oversight. But given that I don't plan to give anything a lot of oversight, starting more doesn't seem like a good idea. I am not I'm barely active in small communities with just my own friends. I am more of a make plans and we'll hang out kind of person. I'm not really a catch up on the messages kind of person. I don't really like text chatting much, so I'm never going to be really there. And it seems like you should probably be there if you're going to do that kind of thing. We did it, and it filled up, and we couldn't mod it. Yeah, it sounds about right. That vaguely reminds me of the thing that we did. Yeah. Hope all you folks have a great weekend. Much love to you all. Thank you. I want to go into the building and then upstairs. That sounds like where I'm going. You and me are the same person. Once I accepted it about myself, I became a lot happier. I think I spent quite a while trying to be more active online because I figured it was important for my career, and I figured it was important for my social life, and I would try and, pressure myself to like check my messages and to catch up on the stuff. And it just stressed me out a lot. Like I would get a lot of anxiety whenever I would sit down to check on stuff like that. And I got a lot happier once I just kind of moved my life around to be more hands-off, because I'm just not a naturally hands-on kind of person with that sort of thing. Perma-lurker. I don't even really lurk much anymore. I've found a lot of joy in, and I'm sure it's a great community, but I like turning off the screens. I like doing the thing that I'm gonna do with the computer and then turning it off and gonna go stare at my ceiling or something. It's just better for my brain. I don't cope well with the size and the possibilities of the internet. They just kind of cause me a lot of anxiety, so I do a little better if I try and keep myself offline. I'm ruining my... I cannot find a book to save my life. I think it might be behind the building. Oh no, it's right there on the shelf. There's a bookshelf right in front of me. That would do it. Here we go. Another hunter? I've had this one for a while. It's just her turn to get leveled to 70. I might make more. I might make more. It's just one of the classes that I like playing, and it's a nice one to have extras of if you're just trying to like farm a raid, you know, like if you're trying to do full clears through Nighthold or something for the sake of you know, like mount farming. Hunters are nice and fast, and they're, you know, you can drop aggro if you get stuck in combat with Feigned Death. You can pull things from ranged. You can cleave things pretty nicely. I like them a lot. Alright, I'm ready. Don't take this the wrong way. Discord and Guild, by the viewers, for the viewers. Your participation in it's not important. I would never take that the wrong way. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that a lot. I feel like for us to interact, stream is a nice place to do that, because it's, you know, it's real time. I'm not, my attention is not divided, and it works good for me. Husband and I have a guild on ally side and on horde side, just us. If I'm a guild with people, I get stuck chatting, not playing. It's weird. Did I hear on Grapevine, Siege of Orgrimmar getting a skip? In 10.1.5, as long as you have done... Oh! I've dropped my egg. As long as you have killed Garrosh once, you will be able to talk to a scroll at the beginning of the instance to skip right to him on any character in your account. So if you've killed Mythic Garrosh, you can do the Mythic skip. It's real nice. If I ever get it into my head to farm the Tusks of Manaroth, maybe I should be leveling warriors, because of the plate classes, what do we have? Paladins, warriors, death knights, right? Are those the only 3 plate classes? Paladin, warrior, DK? I think so. Of the plate classes, warrior's probably the one that I'm likely to play the most, plus they can learn the most like types of transmog and stuff. I need a favorite warrior spec or something. I don't collect plate transmog very well because I don't have very many plate alts that I play. Didn't know you get normal heroic skips. Friend of mine said it because I'm farming Green Infernal from Gul'dan. Yeah, I don't know if it works for the rest of everything, but for Nighthold, yeah, you do get the normal and the heroic skip if you have the mythic skip, which is awesome because I'm doing the exact same thing. For a second, I thought you said to skip you had to talk to a squirrel. A scroll, which does sound very similar to squirrel. It's at the beginning of the instance right by Lore Master Cho. It will be in 10.1.5, so it's not in the game just yet, but starting July 11th. Plot twist. You love Prot Warrior. Yeah, I've played Prot Warrior on and off. It's fine. It's not as pretty as Paladin, and it's not as... It's got like a couple more buttons than Bear Tank. Enjoy raid nights with voice chat? Yeah, me too. Got my first Scouting Audic mount, 25 renown. Congratulations! Those are so cute. Those are... they didn't make a ton of mounts in Dragonflight, but I really like the ones that they did. Alright, we made it to the Life Shrine. Can you imagine doing all that questing without a dragon riding mount? Dragonflight first came out. It is... I'm level 62. Yeah, I'm not going very fast at all, but I am... I'm not going in a hurry, but... Well, we're almost 63. Something. Oh boy. I like the Callings quest. I guess I just like the idea of there being a ceremony for somebody to give me like a rake and be like, here, you are a gardener. Just validate it, you know? That was I mean, it's a trope in a lot of, not in several different fiction properties, but the one that I remember reading was, and it wasn't exactly a fantasy, it was a little more dystopian, but if you ever read The Giver, at the beginning of it, in this version of society, there's this idea that you reach a certain age and they assign you a job. Pretty sure they also later assign you a spouse. It's a bit strange, but they assign you a job. And I just liked the idea of someone else figuring out what I should do and then setting me up to go do it. I think I had so much anxiety as a young person about the idea of trying to A, figure out what I want to do, B, figure out how to do it, and then C, find someone that will pay me to do it. It just all seemed so impossible, especially for like a shy person that doesn't network well. Even though The Giver is not like a happy story, but the idea that there would be like a system in place that's just like, here you go, you're this, congratulations, you start on Monday, was just very appealing to me. How hard is it for you to not give these dragons their tiny gardening equipment? How hard is it for me to not give them their tiny gardening equipment? I don't think I understand. DK feels empty since Cat. Paladin. I'm playing dangerously. I'm trying to dragon raise and read. Paladin became Buttony. Buttony? Buttony? Warrior feels same old. Did they do a good job of giving the things? Guess not. Seems like the premise of the book. I feel like more of the drama of the book had to do with the fact that they just kind of took people offline once they became elderly. And then also the fact that nobody could like feel any pain or sensations or anything. I don't know. There was I haven't read it in a long time. It was a good novel. Yeah. I think we were upset about the elderly thing though. Glad to catch the stream for a bit of work today. Hi, Haley. The plot point of the pilot episode of Futurama. Free to play game? Free to play up to level 20. Subscription, paid subscription after that. And then they also sell you expansions. Although Dragonflight is on sale right now. They're having some kind of a summer sale. In that phase, terrible at interviewing networking, swear I'm qualified, give job please. Yeah. I don't know what it's like hunting for a job right now. I'm hoping it's easier for people because of the way the labor market is. When I was unemployed in 2011, and at the time I wasn't even trying to get like a skilled job. I was just trying to get any job, like retail, anything. Because I had just dropped out of school. I needed to pay rent. I just needed to work for a while I figured out what my life was going to be. And you just couldn't get hired anywhere. Like I got rejected from restaurants. I got rejected from like fast food restaurants. I got rejected from like dollar stores. Like nobody, you know, you had to go into places that weren't even hiring and then like insist to meet like the manager and like drop off your resume with like a batch of mini muffins in like every place within like a 5-mile radius. And even then it took ages to get anything. It was, and a lot of it was like temp work, and they would only hire people for like a month or two, and then they would rinse them and start again. Pretty big labor shortage now. Yeah, so I haven't, I don't know, but from the sounds of it, it's easier to get a job. I don't know if it's easier to get the right job, and there's no guarantee they're going to treat you properly, but I need this class speed. Here we go. I was just doing these quests yesterday. Education made low-level jobs not want me, but education wasn't enough for the good jobs. Yeah, Haley, that's a tough one to sniff out because I think you're right. I think that asking it straight out could potentially, you know, start some things that open some cans of worms that maybe should stay closed. But there are guilds like that, and there are guilds that are not like that. I just got lucky with mine. I just got lucky. In my past before that, sometimes I would basically just wash out of guilds as soon as they started, you know, if somebody started saying things that weren't cool and everybody else just put up with it, I would just kind of leave and then just keep looking, but that's not exactly practical. Leaving my job right now, hard to find something better. Yeah, you can get leveled up to max level within like a week, within a couple of days right now. There's an experience buff because of there's a special experience buff going on right now. Okay. Free dragon shard and knowledge. And I'm gonna loot some feathers too. At least I will have, I think tomorrow I might take a day off from alt leveling to... Tomorrow I might take a day off from alt leveling to just do a ton of Nighthold. We didn't do it last week, and my good friend Gul'dan is probably wondering where I've been. Probably misses me. He's probably... The coffee cake is getting stale, so I should check in with him. You know, on 3 difficulties per character, because I have skips unlocked on quite a few of them. Site to search guilds besides in-game things. Yeah, server forums will have recruitment posts. The in-game thing, and then I don't know of any really active guild recruitment sites like outside of that. It can be hard to get into decent guilds because often like really good, comfortable guilds will stop recruiting. Like if a guild has everybody they need to do content and they all get along and everything's fine, they will often kind of shut their gates a little bit unless you have an in by knowing somebody that's already in there, because accepting randoms is always going to be a little bit of a risk to your social structure because sometimes people are insane. So, or just like not a good fit or whatever may happen. So you'll find it hard to publicly find good guilds because a lot of them are friends and family invite only, and that's how they stay good guilds. So it's tough if you don't have an in. But sometimes you'll catch people when they're recruiting for raids and stuff. Sometimes there will be like good guilds that just don't have quite enough people to do the stuff they're looking for. So I've gotten into guilds before by looking for guild groups that are pugging and then doing my very best and, you know, joining the Discord or whatever and mentioning that I'm looking for something, you know, after having proven via pugging with them that I'm a, you know, a reasonable player and that I'm not going to cause problems. Raider.io has guild recruitment, tends to lean towards raiding. But that, yeah, joining via raid pugs only really works if you're trying to get into a guild and raid with them. Oh yeah, I just did this yesterday. Some people are just naturally really good at meeting people. I've never been one of those people, but I know people that just seem to know everybody because they just kind of have no trouble joining different groups and introducing themselves, and they strike up conversations somehow, and, you know, everybody's like, yeah, I know that person. I did this thing with them on this time, and I did this thing with them at this time. And I've just never had that gene. You're a sniper. Need to do a playthrough of Valheim again, but can never get past the swamp. Are you trying to do it solo or with a group? I feel like it's a long, hard grind if you're trying to do it on your own. Yeah, swamp kind of sucks. I get stuck at the plains. I get sniped by the death mosquitoes, and then I usually wash out of it. They're wizards, what can I say? Solo, yeah. Yeah, the trick with guilds is if you can find a good one, you just stick with it and you hope that they don't ever fall apart, although sometimes that does happen. Training wings. Yeah, we did it. I thought that it, like, zoomed you out of here when you were done with this quest. Maybe not. Tired of being nice at work, so I hide in my cubicle, put in my AirPods. Started farming 2 Massar Garrison, 4 difficulties. Easy in any level 70. You only have to kill 3 bosses. For the end of it, or for, like, Mistress... I need to do Tomb eventually for Mistress Sassine. Return to the Whelp training... Did I not do this quest? I thought we did it. Yeah, we can turn it in and everything. There we go. I could do some dragon racing intro quest. That'll be fine. Rare Mace Mog from Maiden of Judgment. Oh, yeah. Maiden of Virtue? Maiden of Judgment. Maiden of Virtue. Mosquitoes are the worst. Fun to block and one-shot them. Yeah, I don't have that kind of skill. I've been workshopping my muck skills. One of these days I'm gonna beat muck on easy. One day. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I know which one you mean. Got lucky, got the Abyss Worm from LFR way back when. It's one of those mounts that I feel like dropped for almost anybody that did it at the time when it was current. It just didn't drop for me. It just did not want to drop for me when I was doing it. So I don't need that. I'm going to try and keep up with equipping things that I get if they're upgrades. The belt and bracers I bought were good. Yeah, these give like a half a quest worth of experience, but they're so fast. And there's like a nice little chunk of them that I'm always going to do them. Did a lot back in the day, you're not alone. I have this idea that maybe is completely false, but I have this idea that if I go back and actually set up characters to grind it, that it'll drop without too much issue. Because it just feels like it should be better than a 1% drop chance. Plus, you can do it on a bunch of difficulties. You can even solo the LFR wing. Plus, what else? Yeah, it's just like a nice fast run, easy to do on any 70. I have a bunch of 70s now. I should be able to brute force that thing out, in theory. Do I even... I don't know. It's not that I don't want it. It's not that it's ugly. It's a little bit that it's ugly. It'll drop eventually. Do I really farm mounts because they're pretty, though? I think I farm mounts because it's another one. Something to do. Something to pass our mortal hours with. Speak to Salormu to start the race. Oh, okay. I think my Bluetooth is dropping out for the day. You did farm the Vein Seeker. That thing was awesome, though. That thing was cool. I feel like the Abyss Worm is a bit too big. It's a bit too long and wiggly for it to be fun to ride for me. The Vein Seeker, at least, is like a nice compact thing. It's got a running animation. It's got a flying animation. It flies in a pretty straight line. It looks like it would pop if you squished it. You know, that's just satisfying. The Plaguefall solo was surprisingly hard at the time. That was actually a bit of a project. Some mounts because they're pretty, and some I just try to get for the achievements. I need to farm some, well, at some point I should farm some Dragonflight mounts. It's just there's always something else to do. I think usually I get bored with endgame content faster than this. I don't usually do the raid through more than once on different characters, but this time around it's just kind of fun. With an energy deposit? Oh, I know that one. I know that quest. I had 2 judge mounts on their pop ability. Yeah, if you squished it, would it burst? I should be real good at this. Because we learned it recently. We know we can do it 5 times. There's also quests that I can do down here, but maybe it's best if I just kind of do the world quest first. That's my experience. We are 63 in a little bit. It's not great, but it's not nothing. I only have to make it to like 68 is what I have to remind myself, because then I can start doing leatherworking, and that'll get me through most of the end. Doing dungeons, mostly world content. It varies depending on what I'm leveling. For my characters that could heal and tank, during the first week of the event when the mop time walking was active, I did a bunch of dungeons. I did like a week's worth of straight dungeons, and I leveled a bunch of characters. And now that time walking is currently over, there will be another time walking event towards the end of the buff, but for now, I'm kind of filling in this middle area with some just questing based leveling on my other. I just want to get my 60s up to 70. I would much rather start characters from scratch and do low level characters, but I know that it's going to bother me just having a bunch of unfinished 60s, so I'm trying to just crank them out while the buff's good. Try not to think about it too much. Heard about the new change that lets you trade items across servers. Yeah, I did. It sounds massive. It sounds like good news. Sounds decent. Do I want to wear that? I do want to wear that. Decided to work on the insane title during the rep buff. Wish me luck. Good luck, Johnita. That's a project. Wish we had Baneling mounts from StarCraft. We have it as a pet. It's one of the only StarCraft pets that I actually have. I think I'll care less about mount collecting when I hit 500. Yeah. I think it happened that way a bit for me. Once there weren't any more... I think there aren't any more mount metas that I'm working on. I think I have them all, because how many mounts do I have? 783, is that right? That might be like total and not just character specific. You know, a good chunk. Busted out 11 reps during the buff. Ooh. Busy, busy. I really could stand to do some Dragonflight reps. Not Niffin, of course, but the other ones on my alts for profession knowledge, but I'm probably just not going to try that hard with my other professions. I've made enough gold. I can pretty much do what I need to do with alchemy. What's gold for, anyway? Oh. This one's kind of funny. Gold for saving, not for spending, according to you. Gold is for saving until I want to spend it, and it's anybody's guess when that happens. I'll have to see. I haven't been spending gold to buy WoW tokens for a long time, though. I don't know if they would get me with that again. Maybe, but I've really kind of fallen off of it. Should I do Zertan the River Boiler? Don't see why not. Hit 80 just before the buff hit, so all bets were off. Oh, 80 reps, yeah. Never spend the gold, become a dragon. Might get you with it in 2025. Oh, what, when my sub runs out? Maybe. Could be. I wonder what we're going to be doing in WoW in 2025. I guess just whatever the next expansion is, right? We wouldn't still be in Dragonflight, I don't think. Loud, isn't it? I have my Bluetooth is acting up right now, so it's cutting in and out for me, but that's like way too loud. You guys can still hear it. Destro Warlock easy, need something mindless for leveling. I came to the conclusion that for leveling, Destro is the most mindless Warlock spec. You put up an Immolate, you know, build up some shards, you do some Chaos Bolts, bada bing bada boom. It's a pretty straightforward, tight loop rotation. You don't need to mess around too much with anything complicated. 2024 is a new expansion if they keep the schedule. And that sounds kind of soon too, doesn't it? Like, if we're already halfway through 2023, which is bananas. That is wild. Do you think they'd ever realistically make a WoW 2? Rebuild the engine? I don't know if they need to, is the thing. I know we talk about spaghetti code a lot, but it seems like within the last 5 years, they've been able to accomplish a lot of things in spite of that. You know, is there a point in having things like cross-realm, cross-faction guilds implemented from the start in a WoW 2 if they've figured it out for the existing WoW? I think that they would be anxious to avoid another Overwatch 2 scandal where they just make a big deal about making a sequel to a game that could have been an expansion. And WoW's expansion model works well for it, and it has for a long time. I think that it would need to, like, I don't put it past them to do it, but I think it would probably be a bit unjustified. A bit of an eye roll. You can go do the pet battle. Yeah, I don't think there's enough reason for them to start from scratch. I don't think there's enough benefits to justify the cost of it, especially when they're able to do the things that they can do now with what they've got now. Yeah. I think that they would take that new game energy and use it on things like, is this my team for this? I need to make sure I have the right team on. They would take that energy and use it for things like, remember when they announced they were making like a survival game? Might be like a survival crafting game or something. They had some art of like a woman with like a bow in the forest. You know, that's assuming they ever get that done. That's the kind of thing that they would put that sort of energy into. What are we doing? We're turning on rematch and we're turning on pet battles. Great. Still hiring? They're still hiring for it. Do you think they're ever going to get it done? Blizzard does not seem to be agile enough to hit game genre trends when they are current. They just have to hope that by the time... What on earth is my thing? They just kind of have to hope that by the time that they get to that they get their game out, that it's so good that people play it even though the trend for whatever XYZ thing is over, you know? Yeah, when they don't invent or define a genre, exactly. I feel like Hearthstone is more agile. They were able to come out with like an auto chess mode during the auto chess craze and make it well enough for it to really get a foothold and hold on. Because they weren't the first people to do auto chess, but they've definitely made a decent version of it that's doing well. I'm just inventing the strategy and it's going okay. Happy Midsummer Festival. Happy Midsummer. Made Mercenaries. Mercenaries seemed like something that was either designed with the profit and the microtransactions first, or it's just designed for a type of gamer that I have no connection with at all. Like maybe they're like, because there are audiences for mobile games. I just don't know anything about these people or what they want or what they like because I have never been that person. And I'm unlikely to become that person at this phase of my life. So maybe it's a great mobile game that's super fun for people that play a lot of mobile games. I wouldn't know. And the communities that I'm a part of don't really engage that much in that side of gaming. So it kind of, you know, for all I know, Mercenaries makes lots of money and it was worth it for them to do because people play it on the phones. I couldn't tell you. Alright. Nice little pet quest. That worked out well. Is there any other world quest I want to do while I'm just flopping around? Maybe a little dragon race? Did I do the dragon race over here? I must have. Yeah, I did. Auto Battle seems like it was developed for players and Mercenaries developed by the company. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they tend to do better when they find things that people actually want to play, and then they can tack all of their microtransaction cash grabs on later, which they have done with Hearthstone Battlegrounds. They have, by all means, managed to, you know, jam it full of cosmetics to purchase, and I'm sure they do well from that. But it has to be a good game. It has to be an engaging game first. People don't spend money just for the fun of spending money, or at least not at first, you know. Where are... Did I not have a better strategy for this? Let's try the mech one. Worth it for me because we got the sneakers mount. Yeah. Everyone in my WoW guild plays BGs. None of them have spent a dime. I would make fun of them if they did. They also might not tell you. People won't always brag about their cosmetic microtransaction purchases, especially to people they know don't approve. Suggest the add-on to collect the blossoms on the map. Oh! Handy notes. Handy notes or candy buckets. For handy notes, you would want to get handy notes and then also handy notes Midsummer Festival. There's like an extra plugin that you install. And then candy buckets works all by itself. Yeah. Miss mission tables? I played a lot of mission tables, but I'm okay. I'm okay to leave them behind. That's just me though. Don't have the plugin. Yeah. Yeah, I usually install and then delete them on an as-needed basis. I have a lot of stuff I could get for knowledge points. I guess it depends if I want to actually... I'll probably do some amount of leatherworking in this character. I don't have a leatherworker, or I didn't before this hunter, so... I don't know, maybe there'll be some kind of a profession tool that is made by leatherworking that I'll get together. Did you play a lot of mission tables, or did you click a button a lot of times to get rewards from them? That was the thing, yeah, is it was, especially once some Shadowlands TLDR missions came through, it was effectively just the get candy button. And, you know, I'm not opposed to games that are basically a get candy button, but it's not what I look for from WoW. And I think that's why I'm glad that it's gone, is that, yes, of course I'm going to press the button. Is that what I want from my fantasy game? Is that really how I want to spend my time? That's something that kind of wore me out of at Warlords, is I made a lot of gold during WoD. It was very rewarding to have a bunch of alts and to do mission table and all of them. And it was so rewarding that I felt obligated to do it, and I did. I would spend like 90 minutes every single day, first thing in the morning. I would drink a cup of tea, because I didn't drink coffee yet, and I would run missions. And it wasn't fun. It was really boring, but it made so much gold that it felt impossible to not do it. And I was kind of relieved when it eventually got nerfed, just because I was able to get that time of my life back. Nowadays, if they did that kind of thing, I might have a better... I might be able to choose not to do it. Like, if the gameplay's actually that miserable, I might have the self-awareness to walk away from it anyways. But at the time, I was like, well, yeah, of course I'm gonna pick up this gold. It's like having another job. Yeah. I didn't hate it as much in Shadowlands, just because TLDR missions made it so automated that it didn't take 90 minutes anymore. I used to use, Garrison Mission Manager or whatever. There was a popular add-on during WoD, and it would help you automate the missions, but you still had, it was a lot more button pressing, and there was also just long login screens and stuff, plus you would run around, sometimes you would do the mine and other stuff as well. It was a lot more time to do all of those alts, whereas in Shadowlands, I could run them all within like 10 minutes at the top of the, well, maybe not 10 minutes, but a pretty rapid amount of time at the top of the screen. Solid state drives plus a real good add-on made a world of difference. What kind of gold amounts are we talking here? That's how I don't know exactly, but millions. Like, that's how I bought all of my TCG mounts, was during Warlords. I would make, and they were also cheaper back then, but they were still a couple 100k each, and some of them were over half a mil, over a mil. I paid more than a mil for my, I'm pretty sure more than a mil for my Swift Spectral Tiger. But, yeah, that's how I got all my TCG mounts, is I just made the gold, bought them out, made the gold, bought them out. Makes sense, but I wish they didn't nerf it, yeah. I really like Dragonflight Professions for gold making. I know that they're kind of complicated, but I like that. I prefer having this kind of complicated time investment, you know, the different crafting stats and the gear and the knowledge points and the knowledge point sources. It feels way more engaging and satisfying for me to get up to date and all of that, and to do all of it, and then to feel like I'm actually more valuable as a crafter because of all of that effort I put into not only grinding all the stuff but also understanding it. I made a lot of gold this expansion, and it's been massively more self-satisfying than the gold that I made just by the mission table buttons. I feel like it also is probably a little bit less inflation causing because of how it's a bit less accessible, because it's harder, not as many people are going to do it. And also, you're not printing gold to put into the economy the same way that mission tables did. They definitely do have raw gold still coming in through, you know, dragon races and like the gold world quests and stuff. but it's not as much. I would betcha it's not as much raw gold coming into the economy as we had during, you know, WoD or even Shadowlands with Mission Table and other stuff. Did you hate it at the start? I didn't like armor crafting at the start, and I still kind of don't. I would prefer to see... I think being able to specify a quality on public work orders would help, and then people just can't take the craft if they can't make it at that quality. I think that would... I don't see a problem with that. But the... I don't know if I hated it at first. Maybe I did. I was very overwhelmed when Dragonflight came out. It took me a long time to get my feet underneath me, figuring out what was going on. I was fried. I had the brain of a French fry that got fallen to the bottom of your oven, that got dropped to the bottom of your oven, and then stayed there through like 5 different cycles of making frozen pizzas. Can you say the basics of how you make your gold? It's honestly, I make my gold with alchemy, and there's a lot of different, I make my gold with alchemy. I'm working on a video, like a standalone video, and it's not going to be ready immediately, but I'm working on my next YouTube video that's not a news video, because it's probably too much to get into the news video. It's going to show everything about how I make gold with alchemy. And the principles could also be applied to other professions, but I use Craft Sim, I use Auctionator, I have my knowledge points. I had my different, you know, weak cores and techniques I would use to get the knowledge points. I buy mats in bulk. I do a fair few different things. Well, now I need pizza. That's quite fried. Love your shirts. Where do you get them? Thank you. Thrift and vintage. Thrift and thrift resellers, and then vintage stores. There's a vintage store I shop at in Victoria, but I'll also, there's vintage stores across the country that will also post things on like online resellers, and I've bought some stuff from there too. I like having my old shirts because they just feel like they have a little more personality to me, and they're comfy. I want to wear this one. I also don't mind wearing them in because they were already kind of worn in when I got them, so I feel less bad about wearing them into rags because it feels kind of like that was their destiny and they're just spending this part of their journey with me. I'm very curious to see what kind of approach they take with professions in crafting in the expansion after Dragonflight, because you assume they're going to iterate on the system a bit and try to find things to change that to make it better for players overall. And I'm very curious as to what that's actually going to mean. If they just do the same thing again and they go, well, you guys figured it out now, so, you know, the initial burn of having to learn all of this has been lessened somewhat. Do they add on to it and make it more complicated now that we've learned it? Do they simplify things? Do they take anything out? I think that overall it's gone pretty well, and I'm really curious to see what changes they make when they get like kind of that fresh slate of a new expansion within which to work on it. Almost maxed on alchemy. So I know I can, just don't know how. Craft Sim is your first step if you're not using it yet. Install Craft Sim, and then you need to use either Auctionator or Trade Skill Master to supply it prices. But that can do the calculations for you to tell you whether or not something is profitable when taking into account your crafting stats, because that's always where the profit's going to be. Almost nothing is profitable without accounting for multi-crafting or resourcefulness or inspiration. And Craft Sim can do the math for you and tell you on average, after all of those things, how much gold you might get over like a bulk batch of crafts. Do you know any good guides? I pieced mine from my knowledge together basically from the Wowhead guides and then just experience over time. I am making one though. I am making a video guide. That's my next one. I'm gonna spend a point on kill command damage. That sounds about right. Is there a rafting quest? There's a climbing quest. You get years of people looking to you for guidance. I mean, at least during Dragonflight. I imagine that it might need updating at the next expansion. That's a real thinker, actually, is trying to figure out what kind of videos can you make that will continue to be relevant and valuable outside of a pretty small frame of time with WoW, because things are always changing. Things get out of date. And it's hard to make what they call evergreen content when you're making content for a game like this. It's possible, but it takes some real brainstorming. I tend to make the more short-lived content just because it's easier to come up with and because you know that someone's going to need it in the short term anyway. Ice climbing sounds scary. Sometimes when I can see snow on the mountains in the distance, I imagine what it's actually like up in that, like, alpine region. And I think, I'm glad I'm not an alpine climber because it looks like your fingies would get very cold, and if you fall, you're gonna fall very far. Ouchie, ouchie. Too much danger for Hazel. Yeah, don't need that one anyway. Oh no, it's okay, we can jump here. Yeah, you can ignore crafting orders that are unfair. Like, you can ignore specific people, because it's, at least on my realm, there's like a couple of particular specific people that will list orders like that are like, I would like to use your transmute cooldown for free, and also your mats, and it's just like a scam, right? So when you open up that crafting order and you go to the person's name, you can click a little drop down beside it and ignore them, and then you'll never see another crafting order from them again, from that particular player, which is nice and I recommend it. I would like to fly to Valdrakken. I think that they automatically give you that flight point, so I'm just going to kind of turn back around and then go do that, because there's a world quest I want to do up there. And I would like to change my Hearthstone to be Valdrakken too. Whole realm like that is for me. Yeah, I mean, I think you can pretty safely ignore anybody that is making not worth it work orders like that, like individuals. But it is totally up to you. I did this already. That's not what I was looking for. I wanted the flight path. That's right. I don't know if it's account wide or not. I think you might have to do it per crafter, but I'm not 100% sure. Can I open these? Nope, can't do that right now. Too specific. People in Lightbringer that everyone is ignored for crafts. Oh, Sanguinette, thank you for the 5-month resub. Yeah, I'm sure there's some people that do not know that they can send themselves work orders that will make the unprofitable ones just to get their weekly crafting order quest done. But you really don't have to. You can send yourself a work order and you can do it for something baby. For my tailoring alt, I just have my main sender 3 work orders to make a Wildercloth bolt. And then I just make them, and then that's the work order done. Like, you can do orders for teeny little things. Check public work orders just in case someone actually posts something worthwhile. Every once in a blue moon, when you do find something decent, it's like it's nice. It's exciting. I can't think of any good reason why they couldn't just allow minimum quality on public crafting orders. Because then, like, if you put a minimum quality for like a gold thing and it needed to use somebody's insight, they could choose to either use their insight, you'd have to, you know, hopefully to get it done, put a big enough commission to make it worth it, or not. It's the only time that doesn't work is if you're relying on an inspiration proc. And then like the plan is to recraft it until you get an inspiration proc. That's something that's not going to work through just like a regular public work order. And I don't know of a good workaround for that, but that's okay. This is why the only way I got my top quality alchemist robe was when I actually got my tailor skilled up enough to be able to make it for myself, because I was relying on a proc and because I didn't want to talk to strangers. They're scary. I'm making this in your home. I don't know what I thought would happen. Like, I would post in trade chat, I left somebody to make a top rank alchemist robe, and then somebody would go, ha ha, sucker! And then just, like, you know, kick me in the shins and run away. I don't know what my thought process was. Free supplies? Free supplies! It's nice getting a bunch of them on your alts. Famous crafter they make friends with interactive roleplay idea that does not fit how most people play WoW. I mean, it fits with some people, and it was definitely more of a thing in smaller communities, and it definitely did kind of work, like especially early on in Dragonflight when everybody needed a lariat. You know, the first people to get lariat recipes in your server picked up reputations and they made a lot of gold from it. And that was kind of cool to be like, oh hey, yeah, I got my lariat from so-and-so. If you send them a work order, they can do it for you. That was like a neat thing to have, and I get what they're going for with that, but it's not something that I'm cut out to interact with all the time. But I accept that I'm a little antisocial when it comes to the game, and it is an MMO, so I will not always be at an advantage because of that. There's a lot of quests going on. I don't really want to do the orientation. I don't really like those quests. People in guilds be like, I know a guy for any given crafting profession. Yeah. Alrighty. Oh yeah, I was gonna do that cataloging quest. That's right. I like the cataloging ones. Except for the hot air balloon one. The hot air balloon one can bite me, but the rest of them are kind of nice. I don't know how you would get bitten by a hot air balloon. Maybe if it had like an exposed rusty nail, it could give you tetanus. I guess balloons and nails aren't really a good fit, but there might be some in the basket. Working on getting all the crafting professions set up on my itty bitty alt army. It's a big time investment of not so much getting them all trained, but like the knowledge if you want to get them all done. But I understand that. It's a cool project. I know quite a few people have done it. I think that with mine, my focus seems to be mostly about specializing in making profession equipment. It's all a bit circular, but that's most of what I want to be able to make it really well is different profession equipment to gear up my crafters so that they can make better profession equipment. I don't know. It's a little bit of a snake eating its own tail. Do I want to do... Yeah, sure. One more. Gold, mog, gear. Some of them are kind of expensive to get up and running. Which ones would you say are the most expensive? Just kind of curious. Carrie Bear, thank you very, very much for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Also, Sanguinette had a 5-month resub recently. Thank you very much. How do you get handy notes to show bonfires? You need to get the Handy Notes Summer Festival module. You need to install Handy Notes, enable it, along with Summer Festival. So you might need to go get that extra download. Turn them both on, and then they should be on your map. Unless you have disabled it somewhere. Do I have a team for this? I must. Had to say right now, but at the start it was enchanting. Engineering and alchemy on EU has been kind of expensive to get up. Inscription. Yeah, I could see that. Some of the mats add up a lot. All the elemental things, yeah. Level 51, 1 fire gives me 2 bars. Just gonna do that. New items to buy with Summer Festival? Yes, there is a new toy this year. It costs 500 burning blossoms. It is called the Flamin' Ring of Flashiness. It's a 1 hour cooldown toy, and it does some kind of fireworks display. There's like a big ring and then a big fireworks. I would say if you are a collect all the things kind of person, then go for it. Doesn't take super long. Nice thing to overlap with an alt, because they'll get bonfire experience, and then there's also the XP buff if you're leveling any alts. But if you want it for its own sake, I mean, I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of underwhelming. Stealing your technique, collecting blossoms while I level a new character. Yeah, here's what the toy looks like. We'll do it. This is the one big boom for the hour. Here, I'll get... Are you ready? Whoa! Yeah. I have it. It's mine now. I get to keep that. Oh yeah, Drag Race. It's pretty good. It's an hour-long cooldown. Does that make it more special? Do I appreciate it more because I can only do it once per hour? What do you think of the RP of going places to craft? I like going to the place in Valdrakken to craft. I basically didn't make any decay stuff because I didn't want to go to the Altar of Decay. So I just didn't. I just pretended decay didn't exist for my alchemist. I figured I would live my life without it. I know not all professions can get away with that. And there's, of course, the altars you can make now, like the portable ones, but you still have to go in there to make those in the first place and get your charges. So, not my favorite, having it inside of an instance. I think they should all be available in the open world. The tailoring ones I make peace with to make my Chronicloth bolts and my Azure Weave bolts. But at least those are both like right by a flight path in the open world, so like it's a little bit of extra doing, but you know, the RP of it's kind of cool. I just think having it inside of an instance you have to run is stupid. I think they should have put a decay altar in the overworld in the Brackenite area. Even if you have to clear a couple mobs around it. Or like, maybe we take a section of Valdrakken and we just keep it really damp and we just like plant some mushrooms and have some things rot, you know? Make the Valdrakken Compost Education Center and then have an Altar of Decay there. Alright, we're 64 in a little bit. I got my little pack of gold from that. I'm gonna park this character back in Valdrakken and then think about wrapping up. Decay your elemental souls. Scholar to craft flasks? Yeah, maybe. I don't know, I missed that. I must be the weak crafter that needs to get weeded out. I do like going to the alchemy center in town though. I think it's kind of cute. I like how it's got all the... I just like the look of it. And I don't have to go very many places in town for very much anymore now that I have like a Brutosaur and, you know, a Transmog Mount and stuff. So it's nice having something where you go somewhere for. Although I will say that whenever I'm going to craft anything, I go to the alchemy section because I've been trained. I've trained myself too well with it. So if I need to make something on my tailor, I go to the alchemy section. Then I go, hang on a second, this isn't where this is. I'm gonna wrap up for today. I will be back tomorrow, and I think we're gonna take a day off from alt leveling to check in with our good pal Gul'dan and see if he wants to give me a green mount. So, Mount Farm stream tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me today, guys. I hope you have a awesome weekend and a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.